Before we start the Twilight Highlands, I wanted to show off something. And that is X! Thank you very much, as always. I apologize to all the VOD watchers for X crude violation of general decency and property. For real, though, you may or may not notice that nothing's going on below us here. Now, that's not necessarily indicative, but there's nothing there, right? The reason I was curious about this is I noticed I had a mail on Zunla, so I went to check, and it was a message from Blizzard support saying, "Thank you for reporting the bots. We've banned their asses." Didn't quite phrase it that way, but that was the overall tone. So, I was just curious enough to go check myself to see if they were still out here. As you could see, they were not. Is this? It is. Anyways, we did it, Valerian. We killed all of your enemies. All of them! Thought they could survive your wrath. Today, we got something special in mind. We're going to go hop on to Gailota here. No. We're going to do this on Tamazat. Yes, there we go. There we go, okay. PMD block. Undertale yellow. Trippy 02. You got it. By the way, Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully this year will not be as bad as we all fear it will be. That's about as positive as you're going to get from me. I'm sorry. Hopefully this year will not suck as much as we all think it will. I already told you my big New Year's resolution. I'm going to conquer the planet. Alright, so, first of all, I have to show off this outfit because it's really cool. This is what you got for finishing up Plunderstorm. And frankly, worth it. It looks very good on my rogue, which is pretty much why I got it. Because this thing looks amazing. I also bothered to get the Horde and Alliance versions of the dagger, because I thought that would be amusing. Did you really, Bragman? That's funny. Oh, right. It's January now, isn't it? Hang on, real quick. Pause. What's new? It's Sonashi! Thank you, Sonashi. Happy New Year. Take a moment here. I will jot that down. For Mass Effect Andromeda. Hang on. Okay. Just double checking. Sorry. So, Mass Effect Andromeda, Dragon Age 4, and Witcher 3. Something a trend there, Sonashi. I don't know. Might be me. Let's grab our currency real quick. What's our weekly, or what's our monthly thing? Interesting. So it's a bundle. It's a mace, a fist weapon. Oh my god. Yeah, this is teaser stuff for the upcoming for the upcoming zone. There's our shield, and there's our cloak on the back there. Interesting. Good morning, Kenix. Happy New Year. What do we got for the month here?
Fortune seeing you.
A mount. Purchase immediately without even looking at it. Another mount. Purchase it immediately without even looking at it. Another mount. Trying to clean me out this is your birthday, my god. Okay. More clockwork gear. More clock. Oh, this is the outfit. This is the steampunk outfit. Oh, that's interesting. A frickin' power hammer. And here's like the doom fists there. Yeah. Even more of the stuff that we just saw, just different colors of it. Wind up woofer. Wind up woofy. There's the shield. I don't think I have... In fact, I know I don't have the amber over the shoulder thing, so I'll grab that one too. Type exclamation mark Voot. Saber for wife. You too can know an answer to that. That is an offhand that's just a stick of lit dynamite. Skirt, skirt, boots, skirt, 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 skirt. Okay. Mad Max. Pet. Tapper. Gross outfit. Gloves? Oh, they're there. It looks like that's it. That was a haul, though. My goodness. I'm kind of tempted by the steampunk outfit, too, if I'm honest. But I'm probably not going to be able to afford that one this month.
Spirits
right?
bless you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to afford that this month. Yes, I know. Thank you. Damn. Okay. As I was saying, today we're doing the Twilight Highlands. But I do want to say it was nice spending New Year's with a lot of you. Thank you for joining me for that. I love this map of the world. You can tell it's a map of the world because there's like a lot of places not visible on it. Anyways,
Yes?
So this used to be a quest from Garrosh. Now we're taking it from Eitrig. Machines of War.
Keep your weapons sharp.
Far to the east, the World Breakers lay hidden in the Twilight Highlands. We must end their threat, and we will do it with the most powerful army ever. Okay. Our new allies, the goblins... Alright, you lost me. Are making us new machines of war. But I hear there are problems with quality. We can't fight with broken war machines. Speak to the foreman. Make sure our machines are ready for battle.
Stay strong.
Not gonna do that. This turtle has cannons on it. Hey, Mike Cavano. At least I assume that's you. You never answered my question yesterday. One second. I already did that. Yes. No, don't. Yeah. One of these. Yeah, it is basically a Blastoise. And that's pretty much what just happened to me, Valerian. Okay. I was just about to do something, I can't remember what. Ah, that's right. Pay attention more. Really? Oh god, I can't think of the name of it. Nope. Oh. Happy New Year, Shadow Machine. I'm gonna have to look this up. Holy crap. Why is the mount not there? There it is. Jesus. Starting to weird me out a little bit. Sorry. Just wanted my rogue mount. Okay. 2 delays. No more delays. I want to finish up Twilight Highlands today, and it's a big frickin' zone. So, yeah.
Don't waste my time.
It's you, Mike Romano. You still haven't answered my question. Busy now. Go away. Wait, what? Sarfang sent you? Actually, no, he didn't. Yeah, Legion, every class has a class mount from Legion. At the very end of the Order Hall quest chain is another quest chain at the end, which gets you your mount. They're all really cool. Yeah. So, what can I do for you? Him. Us.
On your way.
He mops a sweat from his brow with a greasy handkerchief. And look, Sarfang ain't happy with our work. This is bad. My boys need to step it up. Maybe you can help me set an example. A set of Hellscream demolishers just rolled off the block and are ready for inspection. Give them a thorough once-over. Found any problems? Give the chief engineer a good thrashing. Remind them the Horde is dependent on them.
Hit the road.
Good morning, Lunar. Good afternoon, Crazy Norris. Ready for inspection, ma'am. See that? Ironclad. This baby's all mine. I call her the Throttler. That's right. Takes a licking, but keeps on kicking butt. Ready for inspection? Be gentle. Oops. Look, it's okay. It's just a little glitch, see? A little paint and it'll be fine. Do you want me to change all of your entries in the spreadsheet? Ben One Eye. Look, I can be gentle. Wham! Like the Warrior of Light being, you know, gentle. That's something we're known for.
Hail, friend. Goodbye.
Some lessons need to be rough to be learned. With this, our preparations are nearly complete.
Keep your weapons sharp. Stay strong.
I see you haven't yet spoken to the War Chief's other advisor, Saranac the Mystic. He's been at their side since the campaign together in Northrend. To assault the Twilight Highlands, we're going to need a map of the shoreline.
Goodbye. Keep your weapons sharp.
Yep. And Saranac is right over here, right next to... Hellscream, who's definitely right here. Just, okay, look. I've already given negatives for this, just to be very honest about this. So just to be very, very clear. Hellscream is supposed to be right here, and Sarnok the Mystic has been working with Hellscream since the campaign in Northrend. In fact, Sarnok was in Wrath.
Thrall Hall.
Rogue.
May your blades...
The War Chief has designs to launch an all-out assault in the Twilight Highlands. Once there, we hope to ally with the dragonmaw orcs. I'm sorry, pause. You remember back in the wetlands, we had a whole discussion about how the dragonmaw orcs were some of the acceptable target orcs? You know, the designated bad guys for the orcs? That's it. Just wanted to point that out. Moving on. Through my own sources, I've discovered that a dragonmaw orc resides here in Orgrimmar, known as Hirzigor. He once commanded legions of their soldiers. His insider knowledge is precious to us. Find him. Obtain a chart of the Twilight Highlands.
For the...
Okay, I can do that. Happy to. I don't know if I can go for happy 2025, but... Tell you what, 2025, Evo. Yeah, Garrosh just straight up wants to ally with the Dragonmaw before even going out there. Just straight up. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Lore, why would he want to ally with people that evil? And the answer is actually very, very simple. No, really. It's because they're orcs. If there's one thing that's true, especially by the end of Garrosh's career as War Chief, it is that he is very orc supremacist. They're actually not what I would call in a position of power, to be quite frank. Yeah, he's definitely one of those people who doesn't even consider several actual orcs to be orcs. But the Dragonmaw, they, even though they're on the back foot and are horribly hated by everyone, they still stay true to themselves. They are strong. They are proper orcs. Plus, I really want to bang one of them. Sorry. What? Okay. Anyways.
Speak, friend.
What's this, rogue? You know my name. Do you know, then, of my reputation? I am Flametusk of the Dragonmaw. I have commanded legions, flew on Dragonback, witnessed the sundering of Grim Batol. Curse the Twilight's hammer and curse their ogre lapdogs. Look at me now. All talk and cheap liquor. The Dragonmaw can be great again! Help our conquest of the Twilight Highlands. Can you give me a map?
Be safe.
I will help, but you know you're stepping into a viper's nest. Oh my god! You can't out-rogue a rogue, people. Don't even try. Only the weak hide in the shadows.
What do you need?
So the Twilight Hammer's trying to finish me off. Honorless filth. I'll definitely help you. Yes, and we need a map of coastal approaches. Here you go. All the safe approaches. Unleash havoc on our foes. Oh no, I loved the fact that the Twilight Highlands actually have quests in Stormwind and Orgrimmar before you ever even get there. I'm doing okay, Evo. I had a weird set of dreams last night. But, more importantly, I slept? A little bit too long, but I did sleep.
Magraw.
He's surprised to see you back so soon. Ah, you've returned. What have you discovered?
Go forth.
He seems uninterested in the map. Twilight assassins followed you to a bar? Here in Orgrimmar? Hellscream won't be happy about this. Continue your investigation. I will prepare. Okay.
For the Horde. From Ka. Stay strong.
The Highlands are the home of the Dragonmaw orcs. If we show them our might, they would ally with us against the Twilight's hammer. I am certain. The fleet is gathering at Bilgewater Port in Ashara, but there are reports of delays. You did good at getting the goblins to work. I need your skills here, too. Sure.
Goodbye.
Sure thing, Hell Scream. Oh, I agree completely as Miristar. He wasn't even a character prior to, Kata. Prior to the zones we're about to do. I mean, old Orgrimmar was terrible, awful, no good, very bad, and awful. New Org is awesome. End statement. The Dark Falcon? Jedi Vader, Darth Ray, and Darth Charger. Oh my god. You'll have to, if you feel like it, you have to show pictures at some point, Chat Machine. And yeah, the dragonmaw, We'll talk more about that as they become more relevant. We'll be showing off a decent chunk of the dragonmaw because the opening zone, the opening quest arc for Twilight Highlands is actually pretty extensive on both sides. I should mention we are not doing the entire zone on both sides. I actually already said this before, but to repeat this very briefly. If you're to break the zone into 5 chunks, it's actually more like 7 chunks, but whatever. 7 chunks. The first chunk is exclusive to Horde and Alliance. We're definitely doing both of those. Then there's 1 or 2 chunks of neutral content, which doesn't care which side you're on. Then a chunk of, faction exclusive content. I don't feel like doing a huge chunk of the zone just to show off a quest chain, which is honestly not even all that different. I'll tell you what we're missing once we get there, but it's not substantial.
Loktar.
A message from Sarfang? No, I just talked to Eitrig. And technically that was actually a quest from Hellscream. Blah. I knew if these delays kept piling up, we'd eventually have his attention. You ever worked with goblins before? Everywhere's another hidden cost. Our ships lie half assembled and the air fleet is scattered to the winds. If this invasion's gonna happen, I'm gonna need your help.
Be safe.
It was a bad idea to muster the troops in this festering goblin metropolis. Every vice that coin can buy is within arm's reach. Our mighty veterans are running rampant, blowing years of Northrend back pay in a citywide debacle. Can you make a sweep through the city and gather up any stragglers that have gone AWOL? Sure.
Magraw. Strength. May your blades...
Hellscream expects an armada of ships for his invasion, but the docks here are weeks behind schedule. Costs are rampant, quality is poor. Corruption is the problem, and I need you to root it out. The Foebreaker, a warship berthed at Northwest Pier, should have been outfitted days ago. Something reeks. Go oversee construction yourself.
Go forth to victory.
I gave Hellscream my personal guarantee I'd have his air fleet ready this week. But our flagship, the Spear of Durotar, doesn't have its engines installed. Fleet promised me a dangerously shiny new engine last week. Go to our junkyard. Find out what's going on.
Hey, I got your back.
Also, make sure to tell Evo that she's super awesome. You got it, boss. Hey, Evo, you're super awesome. We'll put those towards Dragon Age 4. Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, and Little Kitty Big City. And yes, you are awesome, Evo. Alright, let's try to kick some sense into these troops, shall we? If I can find anything where they are. Here we go. Gotta discipline some grunts here with my daggers. What? How could you think that you're a... How is that possible? Explain yourself, ma'am. Oh, oh. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hang on, I gotta fix my bars. Just get all this crap off my bar. Get all this crap off my bar. That's an interesting question. I hesitate to label an entire faction as irredeemable, but if anybody's going to manage it, it's probably them. And yes, this is subtlety. There. I've already put that there. Then I just need. Oh, where is it? I think that's it. Not quite. If you don't ask a random question right now, Evo, you know what will happen. Alright, good morning, Five. Happy New Year. Please don't tell the Warlord. I'm telling the Warlord. Hi, Calic. Gillick? Sure, I can describe the Vorsat. So, unlike the Azimdi, who are essentially living portal energy who need a physical manifestation to survive, the Vorsat are fleshy beings. They've got actual bodies, but those bodies are severely atrophied because Vorsat are innately magical. I'd use an MLP example, but I know you haven't watched MLP. For shame, by the way. So, is that just a bunch of parkour there? Hello, Dakota. So, like, for example, hovering, levitation, and general low-level telekinesis is just innate. Every Vorsat can do that. So they tend to hover around rather than walk anywhere. Which means they tend to be rather thin, rather skinny, and rather, odd. What are you guys doing? What do the bodies look like? Yeah, I wouldn't say little legs, more like long, thin legs, you know? Pop this, and then pop this. I'm still trying to figure out how subtlety works. It's actually been a minute since I played it. Yes, they're atrophied in a different direction than the Wally people. What do they look like? Well, that's a good question, Eva. What do they look like? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Well, shoot. Okay, so real answer. I haven't actually sat down and designed what they look like yet. She wipes her face, plaster no more grease smear on her cheek. Wait, the captain said what? It's his fault this beast of an engine's delayed.
Careful out there.
It was the captain who insisted the engines use the induction samoflange. Those things haven't even been invented yet. I tasked Smoot with... Sorry. Just... I'm reminded of... oh god, what game was that? Duke Nukem Forever, I think? Where they kept insisting on changing engines, even when an engine wasn't even finished yet. Those things haven't even been invented yet. I tasked Smoot with creating a one at a time based on a stolen company schematics, but he finally built a working model, and now he's got the samoflange. He's drunk with power. He's running all over town like a goblin possessed. Go get my samoflange back.
Hit the road.
Alright, Izmir Star. I got a question for you. What the heck is a samoflange? It was actually in Cata, Braglin. This is a direct reference to it. If you remember, we had a quest. It's actually right over here in the North Barrens. Right up here. And it was an entire quest chain of stealing a samoflange from the venture company. And every time anybody saw it, they were like, yeah! They flipped out. So we're going to stop him from his rampage there. Well, it's called the Vorsat Hegemony, if that helps. Act. Hang on, I gotta write down his Mirror Star's thing. Star. No, the engine hasn't been invented yet. And he wants it to use the no, you're right. Sorry, an induction samoflash hasn't been invented yet.
Make sense.
I'll even reread that. He insisted on using an induction samoflange. Those things haven't even been invented yet.
What?
Smoot's a good engineer. A samoflange can kill from 30 yards if you misalign the reduction cataphracts.
Move it!
Excellent. I should have this new engine samoflanginated within the hour. Samo what?
On your way.
This new engine is extremely fast and dangerous. I'd use the word volatile. Run back up the hill. Let him know I'll install this bad boy right now. He should meet me at the construction site.
Move it!
Do they have hair? No. I do remember that I decided for them not to have hair because the other race I can't think of the name of does have hair. You remember that? The one Guido played? No, not that one. The other one Guido played. Livari, that's them. What can I do for you, Chief? Alright, here in excruciating detail are the blueprints for the Foebreaker. You twist the document every which way, trying to make sense of the incomprehensible scribbles, notes, and corrections. It's not hard to see why the Foebreaker's behind schedule. Every other day the foreman changes the blueprints. Most troubling are the recent alterations. The workers have been ordered to remove rivets to save costs. Okay. Maybe they shouldn't have eyes. I don't know. What do you think, Evo? Should they have eyes? Okay, so that's going to go there. But where do I put Thistle Tea? I'm running out of buttons. I mean, honestly, Care White was... All right, I was going to put it right there. There we go. Perfect. Okay, we'll give them eyes then. Let's make them different eyes than usual. Maybe reptilian? Yeah, they need eyes on the inside of their minds. They have an asshole. Nope. They don't ingest food typically. I actually do know that off the top of my head. They if you've watched FF14, they ingest food more or less the exact same way that Zero did. Just directly reaching out and absorbing the ether from the object. What that means is most food provides very little nutrition for them because they need the magic from the object specifically. But if you have, say, a plate of monothistle or something else like that... Hello, Magister. There you are. Hey.
I seen you around here before.
What's the deal? Whether on docks as you've been poking around my construction sites. Nobody shorts Garrosh Hellscream. You finish them and finish them right or this gets personal.
Have a good one.
Nobody tells me how to run my business here. Really? Okay. Just a couple of rivets. The ship had plenty. God, I don't know how to play subtly at all. Correct, Magister. And that will almost assuredly be tomorrow. Twilight Highlands is pretty chonky, and I started an hour late because I was asleep.
Speak, friend. May your blades...
Thank you, Tamazot. Most of my soldiers have already reported for duty. Some a little worse for wear. One night in Bilgewater makes a hard orc humble. Still, fresh fighting in the Twilight Highlands should restore discipline.
Be safe.
So they're trying to skimp on production costs? Unacceptable. I'm glad you knocked some sense into them. If that foreman makes good on his word, our fleet will be ready in no time.
Strength.
Well, spit it out.
My airship has engines? Oh, at last. Now I can rip the heavens a new one. We're coming for you, heavens. Once the ground and naval forces are ready, we're going to light up the skies over the Twilight Highlands.
Get lost, will you?
I just get word from Orgrimmar the war chief wants us to move out. We wouldn't have been ready if it wasn't for you. Plan is for the air fleet to take off immediately, and the navy to follow close behind. Hellscream will be accompanying the air fleet and specifically requested you come with us.
This gig ain't so bad.
I'm not sure about sparkles, and they do have mouths. I'm not sure if they have teeth. Okay, so we're actually going to do a weird thing, and we're just going to stand here for a minute. And I mean for a minute. So the reason why is because, similar to what happened over in Bashir, there's a timed event that happens here, regardless of whether you're here or not. If you're noticing, we showed up in the middle of the event. So I want you to see the whole event. So we're going to pause for a minute. Alt-tab to our document. Give a plus here. I do remember Evo. Of course I do. Yes, they are humanoid. Most races in the extant are humanoid, because most races in the extant were built, although they don't know that. In my head, the Vorset have always had 4 arms. I don't have a good reason why. It's just that's immediately what pops into my mind when I think of them. You do remember how the clothing thing works, right, Evo? Have fun storming the Highlands. Yeah, we're not actually gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait here. Ah! Let's see. Look, it's not my fault you're too good of an artist for me, you know. And draw things very realistically. Okay, so I think we can actually wait now.
Yo! Don't be a stranger. Go get him, champ.
Damn, that actually made it show up. Did you see that? Why Pillars of Snow? Because it was the best highlight reel ever? How many digits? Well, they have to at least have a thumb and a forefinger, so we're stuck with a minimum of 2. I like 3, though, like this. We can do 3. Excuse me. Yep, ripping off Legacy of Kain. Guys, what am I ripping off of Legacy of Kain? I'm not that familiar with the series. Yeah, 1 hand, each arm. 3 digits. But who has 3 fingers in Legacy of Kain? Why? Wait, Kain has 3... Why does Kain have 3 digits? Hang on. I roll to disbelieve. Pulling up a picture. God, he is so ugly. Kain is so ugly. He does. He has 3 fingers. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't call those fingers, but yeah. So, fun fact, I was asked by Yura, I believe, how I became aware of the Legacy of Kain series. It's fine, Magister, it's fine. We'll just wait patiently for the timer. There we go. Boarding the Spear Duratar, are we? You're to be envied, Horde Marine. You're about to be on the horizon on a new sky hole aboard a sensational new era in aeronautical innovation. It's been recklessly engineered with a merciless disregard for budgetary concerns and the cumbersome laws of physics. Not a penny was wasted on comfort or personal safety. While you wait for its arrival, my assistant and I will momentarily demonstrate some of the features of this remarkable aircraft. I'll get back to your question here, don't worry. I remembered it for a whole day. I can remember it for a few more minutes. Oh, what? Act? Yep, we're about to show off Garrosh's finesse and his tactical acumen. As you know, air weighs nothing. So to create lighter than air, we had to bend a few rules. We bent the crap out of them. The Spirit Duratar is filled to bursting point with combustible, superheated gas. Bilgewater engineers have taken advantage of its inherent high altitude instability and resultant low cost. We pass the savings on to us. We've mitigated the explosive instability of the gas by putting it under immense pressure. Doing so required the removal of a number of safety valves that kept erupting. Ask yourself, what good's a safety valve if it keeps going off? That doesn't sound very safe to me. The funny thing, Bladeval, is actually Garrosh is not good at A-moving. Like, sometimes an A-mover can work. Garrosh isn't even an A-mover. You'll see what I mean in just a few minutes. Tell about the engines, boss. Oh my, yes. In order to maximize both range and payload, we've concocted an orthodox blend of rocket fuel for state-of-the-art engines. We call it Doom Juice. It's so energy-dense, it combusts at the slightest provocation. Even verbal. This stuff is so volatile, it probably shouldn't be moved. Much less flown. To ensure rapid crew response in the event of a fire, fuel storage has been moved away from the crew quarters and placed beneath the passenger compartment. Happy New Year, Hazardous. Your course today will take you directly across this great sea. An enormous, unforgiving expanse of pounding gray waves, freezing temperatures, and ravenous sea life. In the unlikely event of a water landing, please reach under your seat cushion where a cyanide capsule has been located for your convenience. Trust me, friend, a rapid pill-induced death is preferable to the long, agonizing process of hyperthermia and subsequent dismemberment by shocks. For those of you allergic to almonds, our cyanide capsules come in an assortment of flavors. Don't ask me how we know what they taste like. You'll also find a complimentary bag of peanuts. Yeah, as a reminder, this quest is 14 years old now. This has not stopped being relevant. Should your zeppelin be attacked en route, panic is inadvisable. Instead, look for a number of deck-mounted flat cannons, just like this, positioned in for just this kind of an emergency. Absolutely nothing keeps a fleet of combustible dirigibles safe than randomly flinging molten metal in every conceivable direction. Greeley, show them how the guns work. With pleasure! Simply aim and pull the trigger. Or don't aim, I wash my hands of the whole thing. I can hit my house from here. Greeley, you're not randomly firing that thing into the Bilgewater port, are you? No. Maybe. A little. In the unlikely event that a catastrophic failure does not instantly kill everyone aboard, a number of parachutes will appear along the railing. We call them the emergency rampless debarkation devices. Simply grab a nearby parachute to be vaulted clear of the burning zeppelin. hopefully on a dry land. Greeley, would you like to demonstrate how the parachutes work? Oh, hells no! Those things are death traps! Alright, Spirit Duratera has arrived. Almost arrived, sorry. Your safety and well-being are no longer any concern of mine. From all of us at Bilgewater Harbor, have fun storming the Highlands.
Hey, how you doing?
So, you're probably wondering why the whole event. First of all, because it's funny. But second of all, because the Twilight Highlands, when they first came out with it, actually had a problem with bottlenecking. There it comes. So in order to try and spread out the bottlenecking, they came up with this event, which would play roughly every 10 minutes. And then a new ship would come in, and a whole bunch of new players would pile on board and be taken out to the Highlands, right? It was a crude way to do it, but it was, I kind of like this, to be kind of honest with you. It's essentially just a long, unskippable cutscene, which is whatever. But it's a way to try and at least stagger how many players are doing the quests in one very small area. Because, as you'll see when we get to the Twilight Highlands over here, the initial quests are all bundled right here on the shoreline. So yeah. Plus to story, obviously. Let's see, do Vorset have noses?
Take us out, Mr. Gidgem.
I don't know, I've seen you
Chart a course east with all possible speed. We'll rendezvous with the main fleet.
do no
Aye, aye, sir.
noses before. But yes, they have no noses. Alright, so you ready to watch how incredible of a tactician Garrosh is? You ready? You ready? You ready? Can Azeroth have any hope of fending off any of the races from StarCraft at any strength level you're choosing? No. We've talked about this before. A Hydralisk would be a dungeon boss. A Hunter-Killer would be a raid boss. One Hydralisk. Yeah. Anyways. For everything to load in properly. This is a little awkward, but this is actually kind of a necessary step. Again, remember, this is supposed to be done by multiple players at once, so they have this pause moment for everything to load. Now, hopefully it won't... There it goes.
Straight ahead.
There it goes. We're good, we're good.
Match altitude and speed, Mr. Gidgem. Signal the fleet to fall into formation.
So, close air support, and the Zeppelins themselves, which are mostly just here as transports.
Approaching the Dandor span, sir.
Order the
Where's-
fleet into close formation. Keep it.
Okay, that's a new one for me. We just saw Garrosh, too. They better not skip this cutscene. Oh, it's because of Arathi. It is. It is. I'm in BFA Arathi. Yep, yep. We're back. We're back. Although now Garrosh is standing interestingly over there. You can see him.
Oh, the Goblinity!
The valley should mask our movements. Stay low, stay close. I don't want to see any more mistakes.
Fellow warriors of the Horde, hear me now! Ahead hides our foe, worshippers of chaos who seek to remake the world. A new world is coming, friends, but it is not the world of their design. Together, We will crush the Twilight's hammer, raise their stronghold, salt the earth, and burn the bodies. All will tremble at our might. Then we will stand astride this world as its masters, united in our conviction, unrivaled in strength, beholden to no one. Today, we will remake the world, our world.
Coming up on the Twilight Highlands, Captain.
Look, dwarves! They sulk like prairie dogs in holes in the ground.
Can we not be casually racist, please? So you notice there's some Alliance ships up there.
Captain, sir! Alliance naval fleet sighted off the port bow!
The Alliance steams in close formation without escort. Air Guard, attack!
What? What? What does he think he's doing? The carriers are unprotected. What kind of madman orders away his close air support?
A winner!
And that is the military strength
Mr. Geertrum,
of
signal
Garrosh.
defensive formations! We're without our escort. I want to see interlocking fields of fire! Now! Now! What the...
Now, in the interest of fairness,
It's an attack!
unlike what usually happens when someone's an idiot, this immediately leads to consequences. Because, yeah, Garrosh is about to lose his own fleet because of his action. Idiot. The best part is as we'll see on the Alliance side, he's also causing issues for the Alliance, who I remind you are not here to fight the Horde. They're here to fight the Twilights, the same guys we're here to fight. This is a colossal disaster, and
Get off my ship! The War Chief's zeppelin is in flames! It's going down!
yeah, I don't know if you've been looking around, dude. A lot of these are going down right now. Happy New Year, Chill Pangolin. Yeah, no, this cutscene would have been literally impossible to do in Wrath. The tech wasn't there.
All hands aft! One's aboard! Shoot it!
It's tangled up!
Somebody! Do something! That's an order!
I got this. I can kill dragons. I know how to do that.
Sir!
Tamp down the implements! Batten up the gear carriage! Run her for the shore! Everyone to the parachutes! Mayday! 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 Bail out, everyone! Bail!
Oh, they're dead, Act. So, yes, Valerian. It's actually one of their 3 powers. So, yep, this is a winner's strategy. I didn't mean to fall off the edge there. So, I actually unironically love that cutscene, because I wasn't really joking to Crazy Norse. That really is the military advantage of Garrosh. He's a populist, but to explain that in more detail, he is popular. He's the kind of guy who's really, really good at riling up the crowd and getting them all yelling and shouting and totally going along with whatever it is he's saying, no matter how insane or stupid it is. So, him being like, we will remake the world in our vision, right? You were hearing that. You were hearing him give that speech earlier. We're just going to assume he had a magical megaphone and walk away from that. That's Garrosh in a nutshell. That's what he's good at. Now, if you're paying any attention, that makes him a terrible leader, but that is his greatest military advantage. It is why so many people are so loyal to him. It's also worth noting he is a hell of a warrior. Like, if you look at the warrior class, there's maybe 2, I'd say. No, I'm going to go with 3 warriors in this setting who are higher tier than Garrosh Hellscream. He's really, really good in a fight. So, you combine those 2 things together, and what you have is a warrior who leads from the front while kicking ass and then shouting about how awesome you are. Now, this is also why so many people are not loyal to Garrosh, because anybody with a functioning brain is going to look at this and be like, hold up. And yeah, this colossal disaster here is a perfect example of this. We came in here in force with probably one of the most expensive fleets the Horde has fielded to date. And it's gone in the water or below the waves. And most of those troops, most of that hardware just sunk and lost. Yeah, he wasted it on the Alliance because, I've actually talked about this before, Garrosh consistently, he sees red when he sees the Alliance. Ironically. Just, oh god, I got it. Death to the Alliance. Can't even help himself. Can't even help himself. So, the moment he saw that the Alliance was there, he was like, go attack them.
Strength.
This is a disaster. Our air fleet is decimated. Reports come in that our Navy was attacked unprovoked by the Alliance. And what of Hellscream? Is the Warchief dead?
Go forth to...
The Warchief's whereabouts are unknown, but we have to keep his plan moving forward. You look like you can get things done. Our negotiations with the dragonmaw have stalled. Their Warchief is not what we expected. I need to get him in there and get negotiations back on track.
For the Horde.
So, to be clear about that, this is the admiral of the ships, of the naval ships. He legitimately does not know that Garrosh, his commander, just ordered the attack unprovoked on the Alliance ships. So naturally, the Alliance ships attacked back, which then immediately leads to the devastation of both sides' naval fleets. Hence this guy's comment about, oh my god, the Alliance suddenly attacked us unprovoked.
Throw hall.
Many of our warriors didn't survive the attack on our air fleet. Yeah! Those that did are swimming to the remains of the fleet, bleeding and badly burned. I need support from the shore to keep my men alive. There should be some sort of doctor or medicine man inside of Dragonmaw Port who'd be willing to help his fellow orcs out. Oh yeah!
Go forth.
By the way, did you notice? Do you notice right now? Orc. 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 Even as far back as Kata, they had already figured out that the Hellscream forces were going to be overwhelmingly dominated by orcs. Not just because of Garrosh's own biases and orcish supremacy thing, but because, and there's no nice way to say this, most of the people in the Horde who would follow Garrosh's bullcrap are orcs. The Tarans wouldn't have any of that crap. Just species-wise. They don't have the mentality for it. And frankly, the Tarans also have Mulgore, which is a lush, verdant land where they have no need for things like food and water because they got it, right? Like, I'm explaining this wrong, but they're good. They've got the resources. They're fine. Forsaken, they're busy. And frankly, they're going through their own civil war thing right now, as we've already showcased. Trolls pieced out almost immediately. The trolls were having absolutely none of this and are far too loyal to Vol'jin. I'm right. In order to ever actually consider being along with Garrosh's plans. So, that doesn't leave a lot. The blue trolls. You're talking about the Zandalari? Yeah, actually, if you remember, the Darkspear literally reach out to the Alliance to help with the Zandalari problem. We've actually already shown those quests with Zul'Gurub and Zulaman. Blue trolls from the Orc faction. In Warcraft 3, oh, I have no idea. I mean, if you're playing, if there's any trolls in your Orc side when you're playing Warcraft 3, those are Darkspear. Oh yeah, and the Blood Elves are still very much on the back foot. Remember, the Blood Elves didn't really recover in BC. Now, BC was kind of an arc about the Blood Elves, and they did renew the Sunwell. So, first bit of good news for them in years. But the Blood Elves then were immediately dragged into a colossal war in Northrend they didn't want to do, because they were blackmailed into that by Sylvanas. So, the Blood Elves have, like, think about it from their perspective for just a second, okay? So, they've had their teeth kicked in for years, pretty much ever since Warcraft 2. And then, the Scourge came running rampant through, but they finally got a bit of good news, because Kael'thas, he's totally got this new land. We're going to leave Silvermoon, which is just falling apart around us. We're just going to abandon our home, go out to this new promised land, okay? We get out there, it's a hellscape, and they're working for demons. Great. So most of the Blood Elves then switch, start going against Kael'thas' forces, kill their own leader, reignite the Sunwell, then get dragged up to Northrend and thrown into the Thresher. And then we're now. The Blood Elves are in no position to do anything. It is telling that when the Blood Elves finally start getting involved in the war, which will happen next expansion in Pandaria, not only has 3 years passed since the Thresher of Northrend, but they're primarily focused on trying to get things that aren't people to fight for them, because they quite literally do not have the numbers to do it. Like, one of their major plot arcs is about finding more tech and knowledge about how the Mogu golems worked, so they could repurpose those for use in the war effort. And almost immediately, the Blood Elves... Well, I'm getting too far ahead of myself, but the point is, as of this point in time, the Blood Elves are super not on board with Garrosh. They're secretly reaching out to the Alliance. Anyways. So, that leaves only one species. Oh, two. And you'll notice, there's a goblin. And as Crazy Norse points out, they need the goblins. They need the goblins for their tech. So they put up with the goblins. Yeah. And that's it. That's your Hellscream forces right there.
What do you need? For the Horde.
No. We haven't been part of the Horde for most of the expansion, frankly. But when we get to the actual war, which we just did, this is Hellscream's forces. Orcs and goblins.
Hail.
Negotiations aren't going well. The dragonmaw are not yet free orcs. Somehow we must get them to join the Horde. Let me know if you need transport back.
Farewell.
I'm glad you're here. Perhaps a seasoned veteran of the Horde's campaigns in Northrend and elsewhere can talk some sense into dragonmaw leadership.
Be careful.
Our last two negotiators haven't returned from speaking with the war chief. I think we might need to flex a bit of muscle. This time I want you to accompany the negotiator. Their war chief might think twice once he realizes the Horde is full of battle-hardened heroes like you. Simply escort a negotiator in there. Sure thing. I'm ready, Tamazat. Soon the dragonmaw will join the Horde. So, I just want to remind you that dragons are people. Like, fully sent. There's no debate here. There's no argument. The dragons are fully sentient, sapient beings. I don't bring that up for any given reason. Just thought I'd share. Well, I'm bringing this up specifically because of the fact that this is murder. That this is not, there's no debate here. This is not like them hunting Kodos or whatever for hides. You may or may not notice that all of their stuff is coated in dragonhide, by the way. Like, all of it. I hear a great dragonmaw medicine man lives here in a hut to our right. Well, let's go check him out. Hello, Zayella.
Loktar,
Our warriors are dying. Do you have medical supplies I can take back with me?
may your blades never dull.
I can't give you any supplies. Our war chief, he would... Gregor, you coward. Orcs of pure blood are dying off our shores. If you doom them, you doom us all. Notice how she says that, by the way. Zayella is already an orc supremacist. Like, literally the first line of dialogue she says.
Speak, friend.
It is Zayella's wish that I will have your supplies. Just don't tell the dragonmaw, war chief.
Go forth to victory.
The red dragonflight represents the healing aspect of life. As such, their blood has healing properties. This crate of bandages has been soaked in red dragon blood. So, I only point that out right there because several people are like, well, black dragons suck. And yeah, sure. But they don't just go after black dragons.
What do you need?
The fury, the power. I've never felt so strong in my life. Soon all dragonmaw will feel as I do.
Dabu.
Okay, that's kind of strange, but whatever. An unpure orc is exactly what it sounds like. But orcs... So it's not biological, is the simplest way to put that.
Loktar.
Orcs don't naturally crossbreed with other races. It requires magical interaction to make that even possible. Like, Garona was constructed in a lab, essentially. The Dragonmaw Warchief is the largest building up here. I'm sure he'll be reasonable. After these negotiations, I'm looking forward to a long and prosperous life. This is it. Stay close. Let me do the talking. I'm an expert. So that's Morgor. You may or may not recognize them. They are Dragonmaw. They were Dragonmaw back in BC. Quit wasting words, Worm. If you want the aid of the Dragonmaw, you should have come on bent knee in with offerings of gold. Warchief, you misunderstand. Garrosh has a beachhead on these shores. With or without your help. Is that a threat? I knew Hellscream in Outland, a whimpering whelp. He's no warchief. But the Horde has assembled an enormous host. A vast fleet of veterans. Ah! Hellscream would soon just crush you as... This is madness. Madness? This is Dragonmaw! Yes, this is Morgor. We actually didn't show him off on camera. But the reason why is because he's part of a daily hub of the Dragonmaw Orcs, which was one of the major forces of Illidan's Fell Horde back during BC. Yeah, red orcs. Tamazan, I've secured your equipment. I think you're going to need all you need. Or need all you... Okay. I think you've seen all you need to see. We don't have much time. I rescued your gear. At least now you've seen the foolishness of our leader firsthand. His blood is contaminated. Oh! So that's an unpure orc. Someone whose blood has been contaminated by Fel. That makes sense, doesn't it? Considering Garrosh's hard-on for being anti-Fel. Go now. Go back to your fleet. Tell them what kind of monster claims authority over the Dragonmaw. Our war chief is a traitor to his blood. Since his return from Outland, he reeks of demon and leads what remains of our clan to ruin. Brown. By the way, Garrosh is brown.
Thrall Hall. For the Horde.
Dragon's blood. We best not tell our red dragon allies we've used these. Still, it's powerful magic. We'll go ahead and use them.
Be safe. Loktar.
Fell orcs from Outland have claimed claim to the Dragonmaw. That's obscene. If Hellscream knew what was happening, he'd raze the city to the ground.
Go with
And gray, and essentially black, and really pale white as well, Act.
Makra.
If what you say is true, we have friends within the dragonmaw. We can support an insurgency from within and avoid a lot of bloodshed on both sides. I can help you, but the most dangerous part is up to you. My warriors will launch an offensive. During the confusion, slip behind the lines and speak with your revolutionary contact, Zayla. She's just so extremely Like, okay, I'm sorry. The pale orcs don't really belong to a clan. Pale is what you get when an orc is exposed to void. We'll see those in Warlords. Magic, Blade Jamal. They're actually pretty vague about it, which, if I'm being honest, irritates me. But prolonged exposure to certain types of magic is what changes the color of the skin. For example, the elemental fire energies that most of the Blackrock clan are exposed to is why their skin is so kind of ashen gray. Oh, specifically? Oh, I have no idea. Considering what orcs are... So now we're attacking the city. Like you do. But I need to read this out loud really quick. Just really quick. We will overthrow the Sorry, nope. Stop reading so fast, Lore. We'll arm the dragonmaw and overthrow their fell masters. The way this is all being framed is that we are rescuing the dragonmaw from demons. Now, I know what you're about to say. Well, yeah, Lore, but no, really think about this for just a second. Yes, fell is green. Fell is green. A void is pale. Fire is kind of gray. I don't remember what causes their skin to go really dark, like the dragonmaw here. I know that's something. Although you notice several of these are gray as well. Obviously, a specific infusion led to them being red. I've never seen a purple orc Evo. Oh yeah, and green is exposure to fell. I think I already mentioned that. Blue? I can't think of any blue orcs off the top of my head. Yeah, actually, void elves are pale, too. Well, even Zalatath looks pale. Anyways, all of this is being framed as us rescuing the poor dragonmaw from their demonic overlords. Now, this is actually kind of brilliant, because on the one hand, for the player, they're like, yes, we will save these poor orcs from their horrible masters. But as I've already shown and will continue to show, the dragonmaw are awful. This is just reinforcing biases and prejudices, especially by Garrosh himself. That fell is bad and everything else is fine. Torturing and murdering and ripping people apart and mass enslavement, you know, all that stuff, totally cool. Thumbs up. Fell is the one line for Garrosh and for the Hellscream forces. And that's actually going to come up over and over and over again. And yeah, Zayla is practically his ideal orc. There's a reason so many people insisted for years that Zayla and Garrosh were actually an item, that they were romantically connected. I should mention that absolutely nothing in the game supports that whatsoever. However, she is super his mentality. Like, those two are simpatico when it comes to how they think of orcs and the world and all kind of fun stuff like that. No. So far, no, J. Palmer. Yay. It wouldn't surprise me if they retconned that in as Miristar. Because, again, the two are just... I just thought I'd mention that. Since a lot of people insist those two are doing it. And it's like, Like, I know you like shipping, but come on, guys. Gotta make sense.
Speak plainly.
Tamazat, what are your people doing? Are you attacking the dragonmaw, or are you here to rid us of Mogor's corruption? Zaya listens to the plan. Ah, I see now. I like the way you think. Of course she does.
I speak.
The weapons the Horde has supplied us with will be more than enough. The four of us should split up and arm as many dragonmaw workers and merchants as we can. Don't underestimate us. Even our tradesmen are ferocious in battle. Let's do as much damage as possible. Arm a squad of dragonmaw and lay waste to the fell enforcers and warlocks that have intimidated my people for so long. This is just... what's really funny about this is this works so well. In real life, horrible people like to identify, you know, the other, right? The concept of the other, and then convince, you know, the populace to go against that other. So that's an old strategy, right? Everyone knows about that. The reason I find this funny is because the other in this case is a bunch of demons and warlocks, and it's like, what? Okay, yeah. I mean, fair enough. Doesn't make you the good guy. I'm just gonna say. But, okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this.
What do you need? For the Horde. Loktar, strength.
So, they really love this trick in Kata. Once again, we've got a squad. Yeah, it's the baddies fighting the nasties. That's a good way to put that, Pillars of Snow. By the way, I heard you mention about Grim Battle. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, the squad mechanic is such a great mechanic. I'm actually glad Kata uses it as often as they do. It's such a great way to spread out what they can do with a lot of these quests. It speeds up regular killing, and it allows us to kill above our weight class, too. And gives us some other fun things to do on the side, like we saw over in the Badlands. I missed the Mario joke. Oh god, I'm so stupid. I missed the Mario joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have failed you. I will immediately give in to the demons in penance. Pillars of Snow says, I have my healer parked outside Moria for when you need her. So for those of you who haven't done Grim Batol, yeah, it's an ancient dwarven stronghold where they dug too greedily and too deeply. More or less literally. I actually remember liking Grim Batol quite a bit. I'm curious how it's going to hold up when we get there. We got a minute, though. That's I'd say about 2/3-ish through this zone. Yeah, they released an ancient evil named Xalatath, and it was taken over by the orcs during Warcraft 2. Happy New Year, Trihex, yeah. I'm almost positive that Grim Batol... No, I don't know why I'm saying this. I know that Grim Batol was updated. Stop doubting yourself, Laura. Grim Batol was also updated for the Mythic rotation. And yes, you've heard me say that a lot. But there's a lot of dungeons they've been updating for the Mythic rotation. Okay, what do you want from me? I'm still getting a hang of how to play Subtlety. Xalatath has actually been around for a while, yeah. Xalatath, so every now and again you'll see this, where someone introduces a concept pretty early on in a given fictional work, and then later on someone says, that's a cool idea, let's expand upon that. And obviously that leads to retcons, and turns those retcons into something more interesting later on. Obvious example of this is the Dominion, over in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which was literally just like a random ass name they threw out just to mention a nearby polity. Like, they didn't even have any plans for it. It was just, yeah, no, we don't trade without the Dominions. Say so. And it's like, who the hell are the Dominion?
My people welcome you.
We lost a lot of good orcs, but the fight is going our way. Morgor's regime is collapsing. All that remains is to destroy the beast himself.
We are...
The time has come. Morgor dies today. Be warned, rogue, demon blood courses through his wretched veins, and he channels unnatural power. He will be destroyed, yes, but it will not be an easy fight. You remember where Morgor resides. I will meet you there. Finish him! Morgor survived Outland. He won't survive this. Bragwin has logged in on the wrong character. How could you do this, Bragwin? This is the most horrible betrayal ever. Let's go that one. I look forward to seeing it, Evo. For the Horde. That would probably be really disorienting, Chill Penguin. So, my friend Pax, Europe, is really into Legacy of Kain, and has been since forever. I don't actually remember what got him into it, but he was pushing me towards it. And so by the time he mentioned it to me, I was like, okay, I can look in it. Let's see what they got. And oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh god. Oh god. For real, this hurts a lot. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. I'm dead. Okay, cool. Wow. So he got into it, and I don't remember which game was the first one I poked at. Hint, it was not the first game.
Speak, friend.
So, for the longest time, I automatically assumed that...
What are you looking
I automatically assumed that Raziel was Kain. Because it was like Legacy of Kain was plastered all over the place, and all of the media about the Legacy of Kain games was all about Raziel. So I just sort of logically assumed that, oh yeah, no, that's Kain, cool. And it took a weirdly long amount of time for me to fix that perspective in my head. Because you see, I'm a moron. Can't even proc to cheat death in that. Alright, boss time, now that we're not dead. Oh, not this, and this. And this.
You should have stayed in Outland with the rest of your half-demon scum! There's no place for you here!
Wasting my cooldowns there, Morgor. Appreciate you.
You and I, so different. Cast your lot with Hellscream, then. See where he takes you. Wherever the Horde takes us, we will keep our heads high and our blood pure. God riddance, Morgor! A new dragonmaw dawns this day!
The war chief! He's alive! He was rescued off the coast. Come outside quickly! The town is ours!
So close. Oh yeah, by the way, some of you have actually wondered what Garrosh's old model looks like.
There she is! The battle maiden of the dragonmaw!
Yeah, he looks better
Let me
nowadays.
see your face.
Hellscream, I am Sailor of the Dragonmaw. Your people have freed mine from tyranny. We are your instrument. The strength of the Dragonmaw is yours to command. For the Horde!
Blood and honor, hero. The Horde welcomes you. Your people will be put to the test as we obliterate Twilight's hammer and lay claim to this distant shore. But first, some unfinished business.
What, for her, Dakota?
Live by these words. Loktar Ogar. Victory or death.
Like, I'm sorry. Garrosh is amazing. Patrick Seitz does a great job of him. The others, yeah, okay, I'll give you the others. Well done, Tamazat. You have done the Horde proud in my absence. The dragonmaw have joined us. With Zaela as their new leader, blood was shed. Casualties were low. And now we have their complete loyalty. Our Horde grows stronger.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you.
Something troubles me, Tamazat. The Twilight Dragons knew just where and when to strike our air fleet. It's as if they knew our plans. Twilight spies cower within our midst. It couldn't possibly be anything else. No, it's gotta be spies. I'm gonna take one of our remaining ships to Orgrimmar to roll some heads. Stay behind and secure this front. The dragonmaw shaman are powerful, so I've asked them to open a portal to Orgrimmar. So start helping. Okay.
Well met.
Our alliance with the dragonmaw is secured, but the port is far from combat ready. These flimsy wooden walls are an embarrassment to the war chief. When water elementals carve their way through rock, they leave a peculiar kind of muck. It spreads easily and dries harder than the hardest stone. Yeah, it's called cement.
Go in peace.
No, don't go to bed, Evo. I have to look at it. And respond to it live on camera. Let's see here. Oh my god, it's amazing. Oh, that actually looks really cool. Oh, I like that. No, I like that a lot. I can tell immediately just from looking at this person that they're pretty high ranked too, because they don't have a lot of decorations. They're not super high ranked because they've still got the rings on, and they've still got the tiara and the things dangling from it. But they're not very low ranked because, yeah, they've actually got, that's it. That's the simplicity of it. I like it. I like it. And I immediately close Discord. Alright, no, I mean it. I'm not just talking you up because I've got you on plan. Everyone for years and years. What the hell was that? Okay, that was an interesting graphical thing. I'm gonna call that a thing. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm missing a quest. I'm missing a quest. Ah, go away, go away. Did the galaxy/universe luck out on the first judge that didn't suck and decide to abuse their powers? There's an interesting answer to that, which I'm not going to give you, of course. Evil laughter.
Loktar, farewell.
The elemental powers are strong here in the Twilight Highlands. It's why the Hammer chose to build their stronghold here. In the right hands, we can channel this energy into something productive, like a portal directly to Orgrimmar. Northwest of here at the Veril River Delta, water elementals have been stirred up by the actions of our foes upstream. Destroy them. Okay.
Go with honor.
I like destroying things. I suppose it's not that much of a cheat to say. So, judge power came from someone stronger than that, a reality warper. And so the very, very first judge who was ever selected was someone who was then thus deemed to be noteworthy for it. So it was a deliberate choice. If that answers you. If it doesn't, then I accept. Enjoy the movie, Kennex Cow. I will endeavor to have fun in the Highlands. I should be using this buck. I keep forgetting it even exists. Maybe we should swap these. I mean, I mentioned this before. I've always liked the idea that in lore, those portals in, like, the portal hubs aren't always open. Like, they have to be channeled, like you say. But someone opens them when enough people show up to take the portal, or if there's enough of an urgent need to do so, right? What, this thing? That's up to you, Evo. It's your sketch. So, warlords can be made to make sense, but part of the problem is they had to retcon the portal thing mid-stride. We'll talk about this more when we actually get there, but some of you may remember in the beta in Warlords, once you got to Outland, once you got to Draenor, you were stuck there. And so there were no portals, there were no reinforcements, and you were just forced to make do with what you got around there. That was then kind of fairly crudely retconned out of the narrative, and instead it just became a fairly normal thing. Like, okay, yeah, we need to keep the portals going, or whatever. Ashran doesn't count. Ashran isn't a lore zone, so none of that counts in lore. I do actually like how they decided to use Khadgar himself to open those portals, which makes sense. Khadgar is probably the single best portal mage in the entire setting. Like, the only one who can contest him is frickin' Oculus. That's an interesting question. I would say yes. Medivh wasn't really a portal specialist. He just happened to open the dark portal, which he not only didn't do, like, it was the only time he messed with that, but he didn't even do it alone. Oh, that would be so cool, Monobro. Oops. Wrong button. Oh, God. Yeah, he literally had a piece of a Titan, and Gul'dan was helping on the other side, too. Khadgar, he's a portal mage. Although he's not as much of a portal mage as Oculus, so now I'm kind of contesting my own statement here. Happy New Year, Noctis.
Greetings.
You have the mud. Construction of the new walls has already begun. Now that's the stuff. I'll start mixing and diluting this with gravel and water. Just a few handfuls of this can enhance enough cement for an entire stone tower. We got big plans for this port, you'll see.
Be careful.
Yeah, Jaina was another portal, well, teleport specialist.
Glory to the Horde.
You know what, I'm going to disagree with myself. I'm going to say Oculus is actually the best portal mage in the game. Followed by Khadgar, followed by Jaina. And then probably cut it there.
Go forth.
These are perfect. The restless waters of the troubled river will now do much more than silt or stone. They'll move continents. Finish up the rest of your business, then we should be able to proceed.
Strength.
The portal is ready. It's not powerful enough to transport an army, but we can maintain the connection long enough to allow important individuals to go back and forth. Sourfang will want to know about our progress here.
Go forth.
Yep, definitely Sourfang. I mean, again, Oculus was the guy they had to call on to connect to Draenor when it was already falling apart. And that tracks, right? Like, that is logical. That makes sense. Oh, hey, Sarfang, when did you get here?
Now is not the time for pleasantries.
Ah, Rogue, you've returned from dragonmaw. The port is fully operational then? Good. Before you return, we have things that need to be cleaned up first.
Without honor, we have nothing. Hail, friend. Keep your weapons sharp.
Okay. Let me go turn into Etrig now, because that's the quest giver. Jesus Christ. The Twilight's Hammer agents still lurk within the confines of Orgrimmar. I need someone I trust to collect the final piece of treachery. I suspect Sarnok the Mystic is involved. I need you to uncover the truth. The Twilight's Hammer has placed their agents within the ranks of the workers at the airship docks to spread their lies across the land. Speak with them. If you find evidence of his guilt, show them what happens to traitors of the Horde.
Goodbye. Stay strong.
Happy New Year off the deeper end. Hopefully. Jeez. This is just from doing Twilight Highlands stuff. Yeah, Bronze Dragonflight runs in with duct tape and glue. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We got this. We got this. Welcome to my world, Linerith. Population, nerfing transporters in Star Trek. And replicators. I did nerf both in our Trek. So I'm kind of torn as to which I want to dive for next here. I think we'll go on the left side. Start boosting Symbols of Death. We'll see how that feels. Sorry.
Yes?
Zub. What, 2 subs not good enough for you? Has a secret cult infiltrated the Orgrimmar Skyway? Well, ask me. I know nothing of the Twilight's Hammer. I didn't say the Twilight's Hammer. You said the Twilight's Hammer. What I meant was, I know all about your cult master. Oh my god, you've discovered Sarnok is the new cult leader? He told me his secret is safe. So it's true, Sarnok is guilty of treason. No fair. You put words in my mouth. Ah! Silence, idiot. Hear anything interesting? Your little revelation is about to cost you your life. Oh no! It's a generic bad guy. Kill me and dozens take my place. Yeah, huh? My powers of sight. I have beheld what is to come. The world unravels, the horrors I have seen. If only you could see what I know. To serve is madness, but defiance is impossible. And that is your typical recruit of the Twilight's Hammer. To serve is madness, but defiance is impossible.
From Ka! Goodbye.
Ah, Sarnok. His visions worked against him. The Twilight's Hammer probably corrupted him. I must be honest with you. I told him you were looking around the docks. Yes, you were used as bait, but you were successful. You are serving the Horde well, and deserve a reward for plucking this viper from our home.
Keep your weapons sharp.
With orgrimmar secure and our dragonmaw allies behind us, we can turn our attention to the conquest of the Twilight Highlands and the utter destruction of Deathwing's forces there. I need the Horde's best in the front lines, and that means you. The Highland will be ours. Use the new portal you created to return there. Report to Zayela.
Stay strong.
It's fine, Master, it's fine. You walk up to Sarnak. I accuse you of being a demon. What? No. That only works if I'm a demon. I'm a Twilight Hammer cultist. Good morning, Ross. So, I've always kind of found it funny how quickly they built this place up. This is ridiculous. I mean, look at this. Look at this. There's a whole dock. And like this iron stone whatever spiked barricade thing. It wasn't gone that long. Jesus, people.
I bear the mark of the dragonmaw.
I trust orgrimmar fares well. As you can see, construction of Dragonmaw Port continues at a breakneck pace. If my people questioned the Horde's power before, the sight of this imposing edifice and the speed in which it was constructed leaves no doubt. A new day dawns for the Dragonmaw.
Speak plainly. My people don't mince words.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go talk to Zayela out here. Wait. Wait. Oh god! Oh god! There's two Zayelas! Poke, poke, poke. Alright, whatever. Yes, the Zayelas have become the clones! Oh god. Good night, Evo. Get some good rest. If you ever stop asking questions, I will immediately do something horrible. I don't know what, but I'll figure out something, Evo.
What can I do for you?
Ahem.
Safe travels.
The time has come, warrior. With Stormwind secure, we will take this fight to the enemy. To the Twilight Highlands! The bulk of our navy is already shipped out, thanks to your work earlier, but Fargo Flintlock has prepared a seaplane that can make the journey in double time. Is that not...
Be careful. Farewell.
That's right, I'm gonna get rid of your drawing tools, Evo. Did they completely remove Anduin's question? Like, the Orgrimmar version's still there. Hang on a second. Yeah, it was removed in Legion. Straight up. wow. Like, the quest, what really threw me there was, yeah, with Stormwind secure, that was Anduin's entire quest chain. I just mentioned how that's the first time Anduin was a character, and they eject... Jesus Christ. Guys, please stop removing content wholesale from Gata. Anyways, so we run around with Anduin. It's actually a cool quest chain. Not only does it help characterize him and his problematic relationship with his father, but also it has to do with just how much the Twilight Hammer has infiltrated Stormwind. Spoilers, it's a lot. They don't really say this out loud. Anduin's been in the game since vanilla. They don't really say this out loud, but it's implied pretty heavily that Stormwind is a spawning grounds for Twilight Hammer members, because so many of these people have been through so much, especially recently with Northrend. And so a whole lot of these people are primo candidates for joining the Twilight Hammer. We even mentioned this, if you remember, back in Westfall, because it was a fairly common comment over there as well. Whatever. That sucks. Yeah, that's a substantial story arc removed from the game, and we have some precedence on that. That's not the first time we've run into that kind of a problem. Yeah, I'm going to call that a triple. That's ridiculous. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, he literally saves Varian's life from a Twilight plot. And Varian... So Varian's, up until this point, always thought of his son as just, you know, something to protect. This is Anduin starting to earn the fact that he's a person other than just being a precious object. Because Varian's... He's not a great guy, as I think I've mentioned a few times. So having that little extra bit of fleshing out was nice.
Proudmoore's finest, at your service.
Yeah, they'll give us quests from Etrig that Hellscream is giving us. But they won't give us, like, 2 Anduins. We just saw 2 Zaelas. Come on, game.
Anchors away.
Sorry, I wanted to type up my thoughts before I lose them there. So, yeah, this is Fargo Flintlock. I don't remember the guy's name, don't ask me, but some of you probably recognize this person. The overwhelming majority of you do not. There was a webcomic way back in the day. I think it was on GameSpy. This is old webcomic at this point. And it was done with machinima. It was actually really, really clever. And surprisingly well put together. And honestly, frankly hilarious. I'm sorry. I thought the comic was really, really funny. it stopped at a certain point, just kind of stopped dead, as was the fate of most webcomics. So that sucks. But they decided to go ahead and put him in here as a joke character in a zone like the Twilight Highlands. Now, if you've been paying any attention through Kata, there are joke zones and then there are serious zones. So, of course, having Fargo here, and he is a joke character, kind of makes you think that the Twilight Highlands are going to be a joke zone. They are not.
Less talk, more shooting!
Right to the Highlands, then. Well, that's just the thing. I'll make room for you in the seaplane. I'll have to ditch the cat food I was packing, you know, in case we crashed in the mountains and ain't rescued for weeks. And second that, keep the cat food on your lap.
Okay, get!
Right then, I'll just hop on the seaplane behind me and fly you to the Highlands. You're to report to a fellow named Lieutenant Fox. They've promised the king will get you licorice fast, so I took the liberty of ditching any excess weight. No seatbelts, parachutes, maps, stabilizers, or landing gear. I never land these things anyways.
Keep your powder dry and your ale cold.
Okay. I'll admit, when I saw Fargo and Kata, my first reaction was, you know, Happy New Year, writing. No, I wouldn't call Madan a joke character, because a joke character has to exist. Yep, we're about to crash before we can leave. Flintlock's Guide to Azeroth. Oh wow, it's still up. Oh my god. If you go to the end of it, it says, new adventures are on the way, coming in 2008. That never happened. Like I said, the comic just kind of stopped. Can we,
You need something?
You two are the last thing I expected to see fall from the sky. High Bank is under attack.
Be careful.
Welcome to the Highlands, soldier. You're here just in time. Horde troops have launched an assault from the air. What? Why would the Horde unexpectedly attack us from the air? That's so strange. Ahem. God, I love Fury Warrior. I mean, I love Warrior in general. It's probably not the best designed class of the game. It probably won't score the best. But from purely personal preference, it's definitely one of my favorite classes in the game. The only thing that beats it is Demon Hunter for me. Yeah, me too, let us know. I happen to like Monkey Grip, so I tend to keep with the two-hander, but still. I do like the option. I wish the option was a little further up on the tree, though.
Hey there.
That's more like it. We should be able to mop up from here.
For the Alliance.
Out with it!
Ah, I got to jump right back into the auction. Looks like Heiberg has what you call a zeppelin problem. That airship is pounding the crap out of the walls. Listen, I've got an idea so stupid it's genius. I need cannon powder.
Go on then. I'll
Okay.
be right here.
Shop, browse. Smell.
There we go. I'll dual wield pole arms. Or staves. You might think, why would you want to dual wield staves? Well, obviously staves are cool. Actually, there's another reason for that. It's all the way back here in BC. Or, yep, there it is. You can dual wield the Frost Scythe of Ahun as a warrior. Actually did that for a while. It looks exactly as cool as you'd think it would.
Beware of Yeti.
Actually, I suppose that's a good point. Let's go and get Reckless now. Recklessness. Go Berserk. 90-second cooldown. Increase all rage generation by double. Grant your abilities 20% increased crit chance for 12 seconds. Yeah, Recklessness. For when you really, really, really want to kill whatever's in front of you. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, I am mistaken. I thought there was one ability or one talent that actually boosted it even more. But I am wrong. Increases crit chance by 90%. Pretty much, Crazy Norse. I'll stab you with my axe. That doesn't sound like it'll be very effective. And yet he does exactly that in Pandaria. He stabs someone with his axe. Nearly kills him. Although I suppose emphasis on nearly.
What now, then?
Oh yeah, and there's the healer guy from the comic. Doc Schweitzer. Give me more powder. Give me more powder. More.
Okay.
Oh, that'll do it. He stuffs some of the powder in his mouth. Oh, fresh. Heady. Red's fine grain with a hint of Westfall sulfur and a mild aftertaste. Highbank gets the good stuff.
Go on, then.
Looky here. I found the biggest gun in Highbank. Right. Why is it painted with the Dark Moon Fair colors? Looky here. I found the biggest gun. Oh, sorry. We're going to try a technique handed down to me from my pappy, and from his pappy, and from his pappy, shortly before he all got blowed up. It's called a warrior shot. You take a Void Elf warrior, you load her into a gigantic cannon. Oh, relax, this usually works. Take these explosives, wait here next to me. As soon as that blimp comes around, I'll blast you onto the deck. Flintlock, if we have a giant cannon, why don't we just shoot a cannonball? Ah, predictable. They'll see it coming. But once Gailote had blasts through the bulkhead in a hail of splintered wood, blood, and phlegm, then starts crawling across the decks with both legs broken, they'll not see that coming from a mile away.
Keep your powder dry and your ale cold.
Okay.
Oh, aye.
Right. The comic was pretty funny. But yeah, I mentioned that coming in 2008, the comic ended before BC came out, to give you a bit of perspective on it. It's really obvious because if you go read the comic right now, you'll see it's all the old models. Yep. Whee! Oh my god. I exist. I exist! The universe is like, are you sure? Ah, shoot. I'm not sure if I exist. Crap. Mr. Floyd Pickerton, how do I know I exist? Alright, so this is probably the very... Oh, shoot. Ah! Probably the very last zeppelin that survived the initial attack. Attacking the Alliance, of course, because Garrosh is a winner. So,
scrap the plan!
Oh, Galota.
Something up!
Galota, that were beautiful.
Okay.
It looks like the attack stopped, which is a shame. We never got to use the warrior rocket. Anyway, Kurtrin Wildhammer is up at the top of the keep, and I'm sure he'll be wanting to give you a hero's welcome. You earned it. Go talk to him.
Go on then. I'll be right here.
Here there.
Be good.
I guess I can do that. So I'll give you a hint, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. There's the Twilight Bastion.
We must unite the Wildhammer clans.
The king himself sent you. Good to hear. Stormwind is secure. Yep, we definitely secured Stormwind. That really happened. I was expecting more in the way of troops, but the Alliance fleet was ambushed by the Horde on the way here. They gave as good as they got, but the fleet's in shambles. We're gonna make any forward progress. We need the help of heroes like you.
I am Kurtrin, High Thane of the Wildhammer clan.
Yeah, that's great. The situation here in the Highlands changes by the minute. Our objective is to storm the Bastion of Twilight, but I can't even secure a London zone without the blasted Horde creating trouble. Why would the Horde attack you when you're just trying to create a... Okay.
How are you?
The fleet was mostly intact as it limped into harbor. We weighed anchor in the shadow of Highbank to regroup. Then the Naga came. Scaly, glistening hands clambered up anchor chains, dragging men screaming into the depths. These are cursed shores.
See you later.
Between the Horde and the Naga, our fleet has been decimated. We can't do anything to bring back the men who gave their lives at sea, but sink me if I want all our supplies to be lost forever. Okay.
See you around.
They did it, J. Palmer! Damn them! They've come slithering up from the ocean depths. The Naga. I think their intent is to reinforce the Bastion of Twilight, probably by heading inland via the Viral River. We can't let that happen. Teach them that these shores are ours now, and send them scurrying back to the lightless depths.
Have a good one.
I mean, I'll be honest, at this point in the game, I was just facepalming really hard doing some of these quests. Like, really? Just, really? If you're paying attention, though, this is the near total decimation of all naval power on both sides twice. Once in Vashir and once in the Twilight Highlands. Now, unlike some other things, this is and will remain canon and cause some effects and consequences going forward. And you know what I'm about to say. Until BFA, at which point they just suddenly have fleets everywhere and are constantly fighting each other. Yeah, it is actually literally a plot point that they have so little naval power and they're not sure how to deal with something like a new front being opened up on a new landmass. And it takes months to even send what little troops and ships they have out there. And it's not a lot. Hi, Seraphina Secret. If you ever decide to play it, it's pretty new player friendly. Especially right now, where it'll just kind of send you into Dragonflight. Congrats, Pillars of Snow. How long lore-wise between Legion and BFA? Like, a month? Maybe 2. BFA occurs right after Legion. Yeah, no, it's insane. Ironically, Dragonflight would have been a decent time for the fleets to be rebuilt because there's a 5-year gap between Shadowlands and Dragonflight, but no. We were playing, oh god, what's the name of that stupid game? Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts earlier this year. Excuse me, last year. And I remember being like, alright, I want to build a new ship. Okay, that's going to take 2 years. Oh. Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense. Get constructing then, I guess. The last time I unsubbed from WoW was during Shadowlands, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. So, everyone memes on the VGA, but also the Steam Awards is just a popularity contest. So, will there ever be one award that everyone can agree on that isn't the LGA's? No. There's really only 2 possibilities for a popular awards ceremony. Possibility number 1 is exactly what you just mentioned, a popularity contest. And popularity contests are notoriously inaccurate. Not just because of obvious reasons, but like, memes tend to gain traction where they probably shouldn't, you know? Starfield getting most innovative kind of stuff. Like, people pick that like, oh, that's funny! So they pick that thing. They're not actually voting. Elden Ring, I'm pretty sure, act. Yeah, people don't, frankly, put thought into the vote, which means the votes are kind of skewed in ways that are fairly easy to predict. Then you've got the VGAs. The VGAs are basically the Oscars. That's the exclusive club kind of a thing. In other words, the people who both nominate and then vote on those are usually elitist pricks who have no idea what they're talking about and usually have some kind of ulterior motive for nominating and voting on certain games. So, that's not exactly what I'd call representative either. Hello?
Great to meet you.
She's still out there. Ophelia, the siren of the Highlands. Her terrible song will lure you to the depths. I've vowed to stay behind and avenge me fallen crewmates. If you want to join, say the word. We'll lash ourselves to the mast, we will. We'll shut her eyes, stuff her ears with wax. And then when her beautiful illusion drops, we'll strike.
Watch your back.
Okay, I don't need to be lashed to a mat. Okay, whatever. What's that act? Favorite game you suck at? Yeah. The only problem with that for us is like most of you guys don't play the games I stream in a given year. Don't look at her ruby red, soft, sensual lips. Does she have red lips? She's a night elf. Well, I mean, she's an illusion of a night elf. Kill her! Well, give me control back. Alright, I'll kill her! Die, 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 die. So, your crew is all dead. Just so you know.
What's on your mind?
She had me under a spell. I wouldn't have made it alive if it wasn't for you. Thank you. Maybe the rest of the Alliance fleet can finally anchor in peace. Yeah, I would not bet on that. To be quite honest. Red ruby lips. You gotta get it right. The ruby. Nah. Can't do it right. Ruby lips. There we go. Game. There we go. Just get stuck on the terrain there. Don't mind me.
Hello.
I have to admit, I prefer our method of games that qualify for yearly game awards. What have we actually streamed this year? Next year, I expect WoW to sweep every category. Best RPG, worst RPG, best game, worst game, most coffee, most sushi.
See you later.
How much were you able to recover?
Safe
Oh,
travel.
look at this. You're able to recover more than I thought. We can outfit a whole squad of Marines with this stuff. We have the gear. If only had some way to bolster our numbers in the Highlands.
See you around.
That'll send him packing. Cho'Gath won't be able to count on the Naga to back him up in the fight. From here out, it's us versus the Twilight's Hammer and the Horde.
Have a good one.
That's not the Horde. I'm just going to say that. Coffee is something that you can recognize its quality that you don't like regardless of it being good. Sushi is something that you like regardless of its quality. They're kind of the direct inverse of each other. Why am I tracking all of this crap? Get off my bar. I'm still salty we lost the Anduin chain. Like, I guess, sure, whatever, it'll make the zone quicker, but god damn it. I am currently a warrior. You can tell because I am dual-wielding two-handers. I know it doesn't look like it because I have what I guess is referred to as a humble mog on. But, yeah. Here, I'll make it easier. I'll make it easier. Check it out, check it out.
Punches, punches, lucky doos and loot.
Let's see here. Let's get a really big sword going on, like this giant chonker over here. And then over here we'll have, I don't know, this huge Super Doom thing. There we go, boom.
May your feet
There we go, there we go. Now we're playing a warrior. Yeah! At this point, we've played most of the classes we're going to play that aren't exclusively locked away for their own expansions. For example, we're not really going to touch on Rogue all that much more until we get to Pandaria, I want to say. I think, let me double check my notes on that, actually. We're not doing Paladin until we get to BFA. We're not doing Mage until we get to Warlords. Demon Hunter is obviously going to be Legion, and Evoker is obviously going to be Dragonflight. I think that's it. Rogue, Paladin, Mage, Demon Hunter, Evoker. So, for stuff like this, honestly, I've just been picking characters that could use some experience. That's why I run Galota right now.
King's honor, friend.
Keep your head down before you lose it, warrior. This is my beach. The Hellscream forces want my beach. They will not have my beach. Is the beach situation clear?
Be careful.
You will own this peninsula, warrior. You will be a weapon. You'll be a minister of death, praying for war.
Light bless you.
It's them or us, warrior. Only one of us can command this beach. North of here, by the way, notice the forces, the troops. Come on, use words, Laura. The battlements are already built up, because again, this canonically happens after the events on the Horde side. North of here, you'll see a small line with a commanding view of the shoreline. Whoever holds that hill will have the upper hand up and down the shore. I need to know what the current situation is. Scout the beachhead control point, marked by that enormous flag. Return to me. You don't have to capture it, just scout it.
Go with honor, friend. For the Alliance.
The Horde's axe-bite Marines are up in my precious, precious beach. Kill them.
Light bless you.
I don't know, Fargo, what do you think we should do?
Less talk, more shooting!
The name of this quest is Shredderectomy. Shredderectomy. Our tanks have to pull back, and that means repairs in the field. Smash up some of them diamond blade shredders that those green monsters are using, and bring me a heap of leftover shredder parts. We'll bang something together after we get our tanks moving again.
Keep your powder dry and your ale cold.
Naval invasions. Alright, Japan, you can continue to exist for now. I guess. Your attacks have a chance to do a lot of fire damage, split, and envelop you in a fire shield. Nice! What the hell where did that come from, Pillars of Snow? That's some gear right there. Time walking. What's the time walking this week? I guess I can check. Classic. Actually, yeah, Crazy Norse. It makes sense. Remember, and this is important, you know that giant group of artillery tanks that we set up during the Horde side of this quest chain? Well, those were on the airships and fleets that were all destroyed on their way in. They didn't make it to shore. So, yeah, the only thing that actually made it is the frickin' shredders. which they're launching from damaged and sunk ships, I might add. Oh yeah, next week is Turbulent. I can finally figure out what the hell that's all about. Yeah, think about the sheer amount of salvage that's under the waves, like right off the coast right over there right now. Now that's an interesting idea for a game. A whole game about being a salvager. Now this is when someone in chat's like, well, you know. With the Ferengi voice, of course, very important. There's this game. Already there. There are apparently several of them, Crazy Horse. I don't believe you, though. Not until I hear names. Come on. There we go. Also, once again, shredders, which means goblins. So far, the Hellscream forces here consist of a bunch of orcs, a bunch of goblins, and one Tauren. Yeah. I think that speaks for itself. And of course, the shredders are primarily focused on taking down the lumber, which makes sense. They probably needed resources fast, because, you know, they lost all theirs. One of these days I'll let that go, I swear. That's a lie. Hellscream's an idiot. What was it called? Pillars of Snow? Yeah, the Alliance, of course, should have just finished off Hellscream's forces, to be quite frank. But it's okay, the Alliance are honestly just as incompetent. For different reasons, but it's still true. I mean, we've been showing that off a lot. Most of the Eastern Kingdom zones were Alliance zones. I think we've made our case there pretty solidly. Well, you see, Crazy Norse, I don't actually know. I don't know why they wrote them that way, in other words. It is entirely possible they did so they wouldn't win. Who knows? So here's a fun little fact about WoW. If you have the ID code for an item, you can just do that and see the item in-game. So here's the spear that Pillars of Snow was just mentioning. Yeah, decent enough stats, but I mean, that proc is nice. Look at that thing. It even tells where it drops right there. Ambassador Flamelash.
Greetings. For the Alliance.
That's the lay of the land, soldier. If you're having trouble fighting on the coast, you might consider pitching in and helping us take and hold that hill.
Go with honor, friend.
While you were fighting on the coast, I spotted a griffin tumble out of the clouds almost due west of here. It wasn't one of ours. Likely it belonged to the Wildhammer. I know Kurdrin wanted to establish contact with the lost Wildhammer clans as one of his primary objectives after taking the beach. I can't spare any men, but I can spare you. Find that downed Wildhammer.
Be careful.
What now, then?
How'd you get me, Galota?
Go on, then.
Oh, aye, that's the stuff. A good engineer can make anything about anything. Make anything out of just about anything. This here dual jacker and a couple of busted cylinder casing. Oh, who don't want a dongle? And you can fashion this jobby into a thing. He sticks one of the grease-smeared engine parts into his mouth. Yes, perfect.
Keep your powder dry and your ale cold.
One by one, we're going to have to pull these siege tanks out of the muck. Take these spare parts and give him a siege king commander who's perched on one of those banged-up machines. Then defend him while they repair the blasted thing.
Okay, get.
Do I have to? Yes, so now I start diving left. What I really want is over here. I want Onslaught. I've even got a slot for it. It's my upper left slot over there. I'm pretty sure he's, like, fine. He just went into the nether to fight the Burning Legion, Mr.
Here there.
Burlington.
Off with you.
We covered that during Legion a bit. Where did all these tanks come from? You know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. You know what you're going to be like. You're going to be like, oh my god, the Madon comics, which don't exist, as a reminder. All of that stuff, all that crap, those whole comics are completely non-canon. Ironically, Thrall is pretty much the answer to that. Thrall may be a horribly flawed person, but he is good to his core. Good aligned.
Oh, aye.
Rocks and stumps and hills and mud. Ah, hate nature.
Keep your powder dry and real cold.
One more tank limping back home for repairs. All these trees and stumps and mud and rock. You couldn't drive a golf ball on this turf, much less a tank. We need a new approach.
Go on then. I'll be right here.
Well, let's go find a new approach. Oh, they didn't, Crazy Norse. They were just stuck in the mud because the terrain is really bad. This is not terrain you want to be taking tanks through. Only we had some air support.
How are you?
Ah, dang it all. You're just an Alliance warrior. I was hoping for a rescue. Okay, bye then. Asshole. Okay, fine.
What's on your mind?
There it is.
Be good.
Look here, mate. She's on my last legs. If me bird dies, I'm as good as worthless. So make yourself useful. Here on the peninsula, you can dig thorny stank roots. Oh, the smell will knock you up on your patoots, but steeped in water, it'll boil into a powerful cure-all. Gather some and defend me, bird. And hurry. You Alliance wanks don't have a reputation for timely intervention, right?
Off with you.
Us Alliance wanks. Wildhammers. You're probably wondering, why are the Wildhammers considered the Lost Clans? Well, it's actually pretty simple. So dwarves in general are pretty cantankerous. They actually really have only two mindsets when it comes to people that are not of the same tribe. Either you're literally Hitler, or you're a friend for life, and they will do everything to defend you. Very dwarven, honestly. The Wildhammers are no exception. The Bronzebeards got really connected to the Alliance thanks to the events of the Third War, Warcraft 3. And honestly, a little bit because of Warcraft 2 as well, but mostly Warcraft 3. So, yeah, okay, it makes sense that the Bronzebeards would be very firmly pro-Alliance. As I've pointed out a few times, they're arguably the backbone of the Alliance, more so than the humans are. The Wildhammers, not so much. So they're over there doing their own thing, and they think of us as namby-pamby, waste wanderers, or whatever interesting and creative insults they can come up with. Unless we get in good with them. Guess I should get rid of that. Oh, that's the wrong button to hit. Didn't mean to hit that button. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Pretty much, Crazy Norse. So yeah, the Wildhammers are the mountain dwarves, if it's not obvious. As opposed to the Dark Irons, which are more like the lava dwarves. Or fire, if you prefer.
Talk to me.
Did you get me roots, warrior? Well?
Watch your back.
Oh, that's the stuff, alright. Hope you didn't eat any. Gives you cramps, something awful. It does wonders for the birds.
Off with you.
Aye, look! I think she's perking up already. Okay, Miss Alliance Fancy Pants Warrior. Is that your base I see on the shore? High bank, you say? Can me and me bird hunker there until she's better? Sure.
Watch your back.
Despite you being a colossal dickhead, I am okay with working with you on this one. Okay, unpopular opinion. For all of the amazing, cool, interesting mounts in this game, I've always had a fond spot for the updated Griffin model. The one with the armor. Call me a weirdo. That's true, Crazy Norse. That's a good point. Wildhammer dwarves aren't just surface dwarves. They're basically air dwarves. Like, they literally are known for being the Griffin Riders. Up your Alliance are here to give them dragonmaw orcs a good thumping. Yeah, they're, My God, why is your Griffin so slow? He nearly died. Yeah, but like... Okay, whatever, I don't care. That is true. They used to have Grim Batol, which I think wasn't even called that originally. Yeah, let me look that up really quick. He's still there in Ironforge, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. And yeah, some people make fun of that guy, and those people are stupid. Nope. Apparently they really did just call it Grim Batol, even back in the day. Well, more of a past tense thing at this point, Jay Palmer. Anybody who knows anything knows that getting up in front of a large crowd and talking back to people who, you know, are frankly intimidating to talk to, that takes some guts. I'll give him that. Stuff me like a haggis, courage and Wildhammer. In the flesh! Aye, friend. How fare the Wildhammer clowns? We have much to discuss. Actually, yes, Crazy North, that is correct.
Together, we will storm the Highlands!
Well done, Galota. Aiding that downed Griffin Rider's given our clans a first contact with the Wildhammer. We'll be able to find out who's left, in what numbers. The campaign's looking up.
I am Kurt.
Our friends in the Earthen Ring have been trying to open a portal back to Stormwind, but no luck. Thornton here tells me we might just have the key. You gotta go do basically the exact same quest the Alliance just, or the Horde just did.
Interest you on the pipe?
Hey, go do the same quest the Horde just did.
Up with you.
Okay. Hey, let's see if he was more polite about it this time, though. Let's see here. Hey, go on my way of the Veral Delta. Got a tip that'll help your men, and be buried. When water elementals carved up... Okay, cool. Congrats, Kira White Noise. We'll have to decide what we think of the brickwork of this song. Obviously, it's a kata zone. So, you know, it's better than all the vanilla zones combined. We also have to do a sweep of, well, the skyboxes. Ooh. I'll have to decide what I think of the music, too. I gotta be honest, I remember a lot of the story of the Twilight Highlands, but not a lot of some of the details. This is the big question mark for me. It's the only zone I wasn't sure how it's going to review. The WoW community is big enough that you're always going to run into toxic assholes. But I would say, even ignoring my own personal experiences in the matter, yes, the WoW community has definitely gotten better over the last 20 years. Like, whatever assholes we meet nowadays are nothing compared to the colossal dickwads who had nothing better to do with their time, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. It's also probably worth noting that more and more mechanisms have been placed into the game to prevent those people from, literally ruining your ability to interact with the game. If you remember, during the lore run, we quite literally ran into a point where a bottleneck NPC was being chain killed by the other faction, preventing several people from being able to quest in the zone. That doesn't work that way anymore. Like, that isn't something that could be a problem during the review series here. Oh yeah, and WoW's dying! Sorry.
Greetings, friend. Safe journey.
Alright.
Be kind to those less fortunate. Dionysaka, favor the road traveled by feet.
My fellow shaman and I will stay here to keep the portal open. You should go upstairs and notify Kurdran. It'll please him to hear some good news for once.
May your days be long and your hardships.
And yeah, I highly recommend you never read trade chat. For obvious reasons.
Together, we will storm the Highlands!
I knew you were a warrior I could count on. Use that portal anytime you need to get back to Stormwind. Now, time to get to business. We need to locate and unite the lost Wildhammer clan scattered throughout the Highlands. Talk with Thornton here is a good start.
What's on your mind?
I was on my way to join Firebeard's patrol when my bird was shot down. Twilight's hammer launched a surprise attack all over the Highlands. Sometimes our buildings crawled right out of the earth in the middle of our villages. It was a nightmare. And the chaos, Firebeard is one of the few who kept his head on straight. He's trying to piece together a full wing from the survivors. If you want to bring the Wildhammer to the Alliance, start by helping out Firebeard.
Watch your back.
I can do that. That's a tough question, Yura. Because all three specs are very, very good. So it's kind of a least favorite situation. I'm going to have to go with yes, though. I think arms is probably my least favorite.
You got my attention.
Come to join the patrol. Glad to have you. I need more bodies helping to get our defenses under control here. Help me out and I'll see if I can't find you some more prestigious work.
Off with you.
Actually, yeah, Pillars is now.
Safe travels.
I've got boys forming defensive lines on all sides of the town, keeping back the elementals streaming from the torn ground. They're good lads, they've been holding firm, but even the sturdiest of dwarves tire eventually. They're splitting the shifts. 1 hour of rest for every hour on the line. Best I can give them. If you want to be helping, pick a line, take a shift.
Off with you. See you soon.
We've already been pushed back farther than I'd hoped, but I'm not about to give up our homes to these mongrels. They may burn and pillage and spit on the rubbled remains, but we'll still fight to take them back. That being said, I'd rather not have them be burnt. Have boys running buckets from the well to keep the fires down. Okay.
Safe travels.
Bucket duty it is. Bucket brigade's a real thing.
Great to meet you.
You're a new face. That's meant to be helping out Keegan, I take it. Pleasure to meet you. Maybe you need to lend a favor or two to the troubled Wildhammer that made refuge here. We were all forced to retreat to this building rather quickly, and some of us left behind things of great value. Would you mind bringing them back? You'd bring some happiness to some very troubled souls.
Off with you.
Yeah, Fury is about staggering properly. And it probably has the best overall viscerality of the three, I would say, for warrior. Especially those sound effects. That is a lot of fire. Aw. The doll just says sometimes it's hard to let go. Look, I'm 42, and I still have the bear my grandmother gave me when I was 0. Yeah, you heard me right. 0. That bear is as old as I am. Actually, yeah. By all accounts, the bear is probably older than I am if you count, like, production line stuff. That is funny, isn't it? We mostly count plushies as being as old as they were when we got them, not when they were made. They're here relatively recently, Crazy Norse. So, for all intents and purposes, that is actually what we're seeing happen. This is their attempt to wipe them out. Remember, the Twilight Bastion in lore was only set up, what, like, about a year before now? Something like that? That thing over there in the distance. Yeah, exactly, Chill Pangolin. So... no, first breath and first acquisition. Well, this zone didn't even exist prior to Kata, but in lore, most of this was firmly Wildhammer territory. The only group that contested that were the dragonmaw, and they were on their back feet. Like, the dragonmaw were on their way out as a polity. That's one of the reasons why Mogor was able to take over, and why his gift of fell blood was something that so many of them were willing to take.
Hi.
Yes and no, respectively, Egg.
Watch your back.
Good work, girl. Good to have another capable set of hands about.
Off with you.
Yeah,
Watch your back.
First.
How are you?
Were you able to find their valuables? I know it seems minor, but little things make a big difference to people in times like these.
Keep your feet on the ground.
You're very generous, thank you. There's a lot of darkness in our world these days. We appreciate the light you brought here.
Be good.
Oh, they knew. What do you think? Why do you think Zayla was so emphasizing, we must stay pure of blood?
How are ya?
Oh, thanks for your help. Every little bit makes a difference. We'll keep the water going until we can push the Twilight back.
See you soon.
Ian, my second-in-command, boarded the body of our fallen heroes to the cathedral to the west. He's the man I've put in charge of reforming a wing of Griffin Riders from whatever scattered forces he can find. I'd like you to help him. I should impress upon you the urgency of this task. We'll not be able to hold off forever. The Twilight Hammer or the dragonmaw will eventually overwhelm us. Putting together an active Griffin wing may be our only hope for survival.
Safe travels.
So, yeah. Remember how I mentioned how dwarves are either super cool or super screw you? Well, our introduction to the dwarves is doing nothing but helping them out in a dire situation. To the Wildhammer dwarves. So, yeah, try to be shocked. They're going to be pretty pro-alliance after this. How that works out. Yeah, we basically are about to become drinking buddies for life. One moment, please. Oh gosh, I'm not sure how long dwarves live in Warcraft, off the top of my head. Like, they're no elves, but I'm pretty sure they get into the centuries range. See you around deck. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. An elf and a dwarf were childhood friends. Think about that for a second. Elves will still outlive dwarves because elves actually have no upper limit on their age. But dwarves still live pretty far. Where does it say that? Oh, just no, if you don't mind my asking. So, elven immortality is directly tied to several things. They've also retconned it several times, which is admittedly irritating to me. The main thing is, of course, having a source of magical energy to sustain them. We've talked about that. That's something that they biologically need. It's why the Nightborn require the essences of the Moonwell or Nightwell or whatever the hell they called it. You know, Arcwine. But remember, like most of the Nightborn that we see in Suramar, they were around during the War of the Ancients, right? Just to emphasize the age thing. I mentioned that, and that's important because for some reason, there was a thing, and I'm almost positive this has been thrown out the window, like circa Cataclysm, but there's this thing where they emphasize that the only reason the elves lived forever is because of the blessing on the tree from, I want to say it was Nosdormu, or something like that. That's turbo thrown out the window at this point, because there's simply too many other examples of other elves who live millennia, you know, plenty long, because they've got some other source of magical energy that isn't, you know, a Titan-blessed tree. So, the current lore, last I checked, was as long as you have that source of energy, as an elf, your lifespan just keeps going. Hence, Sunwell for the high elves, and obviously, you know, the Teldrassil, cough cough, for the night elves, and the Nightwell for the Nightborn. How would you even do that, Euro? That is a good question, Crazy Norse. Naturally, Warcraft has never actually discussed reproduction, and honestly probably never should. However, if I'm being honest, they're probably just going to borrow the same thing they did with the Protoss over in StarCraft. For the most part, I'm not super impressed with the Twilight Highlands. I mean, don't mistake me, it's pretty good. Like, exploring the dried up river was a nice touch. We can actually even see why it's dried up further up the riverbank over there. Highlands themselves, you know, the trees and stuff or whatever. The details tend to get better when you zoom in, like on the battlefront over here. Or when you actually get to the towns, like over here. I have no idea, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. I'm not even sure they know. We've also, in the interest of fairness, also got a whole other area of the Highlands some people tend to forget is even here, because this is where the red dragonflight tends to hang out. Whoops. It feels weird calling something this well visually presented, but I mean, this is a game, this is an expansion even, which has Vashir and Deepholm, for God's sakes. I will say, this area looks fantastic. Especially if you look up. We've seen bits and pieces of this terrain type as we go, but this is the most concentrated bit of Twilight cultist power anywhere, actually, in the entire game. This is their headquarters. And it looks like it. I love how just a mess it looks, you know. It looks so thrown together. Spires and jagged cliffs and rock broken everywhere. There's barely even roads here. There's just... Yeah, it's chaos. It is exactly what it should be. It is corruptive chaos. And all of that, of course, feeds the spire itself here, which is very cool looking, even though it makes no real sense. This is the entrance to the raid. All the way up here. Hey, look, I can see my house from here. You can also see pretty much the entire continent from up here. That's Eastern Plaguelands over there, and that's Swamp of Sorrows over there. And yeah, I know. The actual Twilight Bastion is over here, in this mountain chain that's ahead of me, for some reason. I don't know. Don't ask me. I didn't design this stuff. So yeah, this is just a portal in? Why is there a portal? Okay, whatever. We're just going to ignore it. We're just going to ignore it. Just walking past it. Here's what I'm thinking. That feels right. Listen, if you don't eat your beans, you can't have your ice cream. Sorry, Gumgo. Ah! Ah!
What can I do for ya?
Greetings, Void Elf. Sent by Keegan.
See you soon.
They took us unaware. Attacked all the Highlands at once, bursting forth from the ground, swooping from the air. Most of the griffin wings were scattered. Far too many good dwarves lost their lives. There'd be little hope at all if Keegan hadn't rallied us together. All that meant me life. At least now we have a chance.
Watch your back.
If we're going to pull a full griffin wing back together, we're going to need to move fast to gather the survivors before they get picked up or left off. I've got a bead on a few groups that stuck together. I'm leaving to find the Thundermaw Raiders and the Moor Riders shortly. The Mullins were seen up to the west at the Crucible of Carnage. Let's see if you can convince Douglas to join up with Keegan. He should owe him a favour or three.
Off with you. Safe travels. What's on your mind?
The Doyle Riders were last spotted converging on the trees to the south, on the border of the Obsidian Forest. They're a stubborn bunch. They're likely to take some convincing if they're to join up. Your best bet with Keelan Doyle is to tell him Kaelin Longfellow's taken up shelter back in town. Keelan's got just a good enough soft spot for her. It might be enough to convince him to drag his boys along.
See you soon.
I also need you to take out McKay and his men on the other side of the Devouring Breach at the Gorshak war camp. The dragonmaw didn't survive the initial onslaught, and McKay's looking to ransack what he can of the camp to supply her flight. There shouldn't be much convincing necessary, but they'll likely want a hand wrapping things up before they go back to Keegan. Give him a boot in the arse from old Lane if you have to.
Safe travels.
And by Lane, I mean Ian, because his name is Ian. Oh, I'm sorry, Fife. Don't mind the Elementium rift here. I also love this, by the way. It's in the middle of this dragonmaw post, which also happens to be right in the middle of this dwarven post, which helps to emphasize just how close these two forces were and how often they dealt with each other before the Twilights started, you know, doing their thing.
Talk to me.
Ian sent you. You don't look like a firebeard to me. Why exactly would I be listening to anything you have to say?
Be good.
Keegan wants the Mullins to take wing with him, huh? If there's a dwarf I'd fly for, he'd be it. Still, I don't get why he'd be sending an outsider. Not right polite by my standards. I'm guessing you don't stand 20 seconds with any of my boys. At the bar or in the battlefield. Prove me wrong. Take one of them down in a fight, and I'll think about it.
Off with you.
Welcome.
Don't let Douglas fool you. The Mullins have been itching to take wing again. If there's anyone we do it for, it's Firebeard. We left our griffins in the Highland forest to the south to hunt and get away from the sounds of battle for a bit. They deserve the rest. If you want to get back in the air soon, you do well to bring our griffins back in. Here, take a pit of charred Highland birch. We use it during training. As soon as they smell it, they come straight back.
Watch your back.
Yeah, I almost ran dry. In fact, I think... Oh, it doesn't tell me. Yeah, I think I'm down to like 300 coins or something like that. You can really tell that periodically they want to drain the coffers of players. Which makes sense, because they are charging real money for those now. Well, charging is the wrong word. They have it as an option to buy that in the real money store, so they probably want to encourage people to spend as much as they can. Oh, that sounds cool, 5. It took me a moment to understand what you meant, but yeah. Oof. Bunch of red dragons here for some reason. Strange. I don't have the ability to heal this. So I'm just gonna let you die. Sorry, can't heal you. Not playing a healing class. Happy New Year's are. Such as it is. There you go. Be free. So you mean Raziel, right? The Shira. Oh god, is it really, J. Palmer? Alright, bindings. Feel pain. Ah! Please, no. Hi, Nerzaz. Happy New Year's.
Interest you on a pint?
You got my attention.
How are you? Watch your back.
Come on. Come on. Wait, add a duel in the traditional way that PvPers always play. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're good.
What's on your mind?
Oh, good on ya. I always feel a part of me is missing when me Griffin isn't nearby. Can't speak for Douglas or the others, but I'll be ready to fly at Firebeard's command.
Safe travels.
That's the stuff. Not that bad. You've got a bit of fight in you after all.
Be good.
Alright, your point's made. Keegan can count on us. We'll meet them back in town as soon as the boys are rallied up. Yeah, you're tough for not being a Wildhammer. I guess they breed them good where you come from. Still haven't seen you drink yet. That'll be the real test.
Off with you.
Look, I'm a void elf. I'm pretty sure I have a much higher alcoholic tolerance than you. Yes, we are actually going to finish Kata this week. Pretty much guaranteed, knock on wood. So, let's go recruit this guy. Yeah, they're dead. They're very, very dead. Told me bring in my Death Knight. Rise! Alright, there we go. We have recruited the Wildhammers. I'm pretty sure the only expansion that will contest Kata in terms of sheer length will be Legion. And even that I don't think we'll hit there. Oh, hang on, wrong one. Yeah,
How are ya?
about time, huh? Help us wrap things up, then.
Off with you.
The Twilight socked this town, killed the dragonmaw that lived in it. A few survived, though, and they're not right keen on us taking liberties with their supplies. Not that that matters much. I'm not right keen on them attacking me, boys. Kill 'em, chase 'em, I don't care. Just get 'em gone.
Watch your back.
Well, I do like killing filthy, disgusting orcs. Ugh, they're not even human.
Well met.
Me brother Bottom's gone missing. He was one of the first scouts in the area. All the others have returned safely, but there's no sign of him. Da says he's only dawdling somewhere, but he's my only brother. I promised me Mum I'd keep him safe. Will you please find him?
Keep your feet on the ground.
You got my attention.
Stay back and forge more weapons. Ah! A forge hammerer has never been more afraid of battle. One needs the safety of home to make weapons. Besides, there's oodles of raw material out there. Those dragonmaw weapons are worthless, but they can be smelted down to make actual weapons. Bring 8 weapons to me daughter so we can forge the real weapons out of them.
Watch your back.
Those inhuman scum. They deserve to die by sheer virtue of not being human. We just need to call them vermin and we'll be good. Those orc vermin. Yahtzee Croshaw? He's cool. He's bounced up and down acceptability over the years, but I have a decent amount of respect for him. Get out of here. Stupid orc. His overall style for zero punctuation or fully ramblomatic. Well, for lack of a better way to put it, it reminds me a lot of CinemaSins. Yeah, I know that sounds like an insult, and I do not mean it as one. What I mean by it is you can always tell when he actually likes a game. Not because he's praising it, because his overall style and shtick is to be a cantankerous British review critic, right? And make fun of something constantly. But there's always a difference in how his insults land, how his jokes land, when he actually likes a game versus when he doesn't. One of my favorite examples of that is actually Mario Galaxy 2. A game he spent the entire review viciously mocking, but in a way that made it very clear that he enjoyed the hell out of it. And indeed, at the very end, he actually mentioned that, yeah, okay, it's a great game. Hello, Wolverale. Yeah, he covered Hat in Time in pretty much the exact same format. I stopped watching CinemaSins because they were accepting sponsorships from BetterHelp. Yes, I know, but that is the reason. And I am quite unashamed of that.
Here there.
How many you got so far?
Be good.
Ah, you had a good loss. Have me thanks and a little gold for us your travels.
Watch your back. You got my attention.
Don't be looking. I'm not wearing me pants.
Very good.
Why am I standing in the grain crate? Well, long story short, there were hornets and dragonmaw, and they showed up at a bad time. I got away safely, but the bastards took off with me leggards. My sister made those for me from scratch. Even engraved my name on them. I would die of shame if she ever found out I lost them. Please find them for me. I saw the pant thief go to the fortress. I'm going to stay here for a cover. And don't be asking what a Wildhammer wears under his kilt.
Off with you.
Yes, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. Mr. Floyd Pinkerton would be excellent at cinema sins. Ding. I started watching Cinnamon Winds and stopped watching it almost immediately. I didn't care for it at all. There was nothing there for it. For me. See you around, Act. No, I watch YouTube all the time. What are you talking about? In very, very, very small bite-sized pieces. Usually about a minute at a time.
Great to meet you.
That's more like it. Let's finish gathering up supplies. We'll get back to Keegan.
Off with you.
Exactly, Savacom. I'm just sitting here doing nothing. Like watching YouTube. This is all I do. This is my day. Yeah, I just watch shorts nonstop. Definitely. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like Jay Palmer to be executed for heresy. Who would like to do the deed? Whoever does so will be seen as venerated in the eyes of the lore walkers.
What's on your mind?
Have you found my pants yet? This grain is pretty itchy.
Be good.
Oh, thank you. Now turn around so I can put them on.
Off with you.
Okay. Now I can return with dignity. Uh-huh.
Hi.
Cleaned up the camp and ran errands for Wildhammer. Not bad for a wee warrior. I take these to Ian. He should reward you for a job well done.
Safe travels.
The only thing shorts are good for is getting you guys to watch them. Please watch my shorts. That is correct. You can just straight up block shorts.
What can I do for you? Watch your back.
You got the Mullins. Good news. They're worth more than their weight in a fight. They ain't exactly skinny.
See you soon. Watch your back.
Oh, that's a right shame. Stubborn as they were to speak to, they were just as stubborn in their fight. Would have been good to have them. Once this is done, we'll send some boys to bring them back for a proper send-off.
Safe travels.
Ha! Looks like their raid went mighty well then. We'll have to buy all Wildhammer around once we finish with this mess. Wow, my bracers are level 15. Jesus. Shame about the Doyles. It's a fair miracle that as many of us made it out as it is, though, so I can't count that as much of a surprise. Those louts at Thundermar are cowards. Even after telling them it was Keegan asking, they won't step foot outside the town. I did rope in the Moors, though, so at least that's 3 clans worth. Keegan wants to hear about you personally when you return. Go find him in town.
Off with you.
Okay. Damn it, Bragwin. Good morning, that which wants sleep. And good luck with the new year.
How are ya?
It seems you had some luck bringing riders back. Well, time too. We just pushed the elementals back, so we should have the arm room to lead an attack right away. Thank you. You had a good void elf.
Watch your back.
Thanks to you and Ian, we've got enough riders back that we can take the fight to the Twilight. We're trained to fight while riding, but a second rider to handle the Stormhammer tends to be more efficient. I thought you might like the honor. Alright.
Safe travels.
Which one should we pick? They're all completely identical, but which one should we pick? Oh, we can actually pick one of the different clans, too. So there's Firebeard, there's Mullins. No, I only do shorts on the first channel, not the second one, Solar Galaxy. So we can do the Moors, the Mullins, or the Firebeards. Is that it? That does appear to be it. I'm feeling Mullins, if I had a choice. These are the ones we had to beat up, and they insisted we needed to drink them down, too. Firebeards are obvious. Moors we haven't actually interacted with yet. People not only can comment on shorts, they do so all the time. I get a lot of comments on the shorts. Gotta drive that engagement. For real, I appreciate everyone who comments on the shorts, though. Legitimately. I love their battle cries. Your life is meaningless. Your screams will carry on the winds. I control the very air you breathe. Whispers, whispers in the wind. Yes, master. Oh god, please don't make me do uploads to TikTok. Ooh, that actually hurt. Nice. I professionally recommend staying off of TikTok. Yeah, whatever negative thoughts you have in your head, whatever bad mental impression you have of YouTube and Twitch, take that and jump it down a tier or two, and that's TikTok. In fact, much of the recent terrible stuff that both companies have been doing is stuff they copied from TikTok.
What can I do for ya?
Now that's how it's done, lass. The real Griffin wing back together. We can take the fight to the rest of the Twilight. You're welcome to fly with us anytime.
See you soon. Off with you.
As I understand it, you're looking to bring the Wildhammer clans together in the Alliance for war. Not sure you know what you're getting into. Anyway, if it's battle you're prepping for, there's definitely one family you want at your side. It's southwest to the opposite side of the Crucible of Carnage. There you'll find Clan Dunwald ruins. They're slightly ravaged, but that's not to stop the Dunewalds. It's just a matter of finding them.
Watch your back.
We may be safe here, but there's a lot of Wildhammer that could use our support. Our wing can offer that, but we need to keep bolstering our forces if we're going to clear out the Twilights completely. I'm going to have words with Colin Thundermar. Only a coward turns down the calling of his people, especially this dire. Go to Thundermar, find Colin, get a real explanation out of him. I won't be putting up with cowardice in a Wildhammer leader.
Off with you.
By the way, I continue to approve of you guys and appreciate you guys for doing those clips on Twitch, because that's what those shorts come from. They're literally just the Twitch clips. Thank you, as always, for making those clips happen. Twitch actually very recently finally fixed their crap with the Twitch clips feature, so I can actually edit them and export them properly again.
Talk to me.
If it's Dunwalds you're looking for, it's Dunwalds you found. A couple of them anyway. Can't find me brothers for the life of me.
See you soon. Safe travels.
So you're looking to find us, and I be looking to find me brothers. Sounds to me we've got some common grounds thereabouts. Donley's our eldest, and while his size shows it, his wits might not. He's usually in the northern ruins. Do you think you might go looking for him?
Watch your back.
Well, Eowyn's one of the twins. He's got a penchant for the drink. You'll likely be finding him over by the old well. The ale stores were in the building there. Mind paying him a visit to... making him pay a visit to his worrying sister. Shouldn't take much convincing if you get to the ale first.
See you soon.
Kane's the other twin. He's got a thirst too, but not for ale. I'm sure he's been having a grand time of it since the Twilight came to our doorstep. Getting some of that aggression out of his system, perhaps. I'm thinking the best place to go looking for him is Market Road, by the old smithy. He used to hang out there anyway, but since that place is swarming with most of the Twilight, he's probably got all the more reason to be calling it home now.
Watch your back.
Safe travel.
Hey there, Loss. I'm sure Keely's got you worrying about our brothers, but they can take care of them ourselves. They'll find their way back one way or another. Can you do me a favour while you're out meeting the family? Dunwald territory is infested with the Twilight Hammer and their servants. I'd appreciate if you remind them that they're not welcome.
See you soon.
That is an interesting way to ask us to kill a bunch of people. Facebook. No comments on Facebook. I can't. No.
Watch your back.
The Twilight Hammer were a damned thorough when they sacked the town. Me and my brothers may well be the only ones that held them back. I'm gonna be sure, though. As you're sifting through the ruins, keep an eye for the bodies of my kinsmen. I wonder if there were any survivors.
See you soon.
Can or cannot, Savacon? Oh, that's even worse then. Although I happen to hate it when they show me things that I can't afford. But, you know. What was wrong with Twitch clips? So, I don't know exactly, but I would go to render a Twitch clip after doing the edits and setting it up properly, and it would say, totally rendering. And it's totally there, wink, wink, and it wouldn't actually render. It would never actually render this specific clip. And if it's not rendered, it can't be exported. So there's actually about a couple of dozen of Twitch clips which are still sitting there, which have to still be rendered, and which I've been doing periodically over the last few weeks, in order to then actually export them to YouTube. 2,000 a month. Holy crap. I will admit, and in no way do I mean this as a way to dissuade you, Sawakon, but I've actually looked into it a little bit, and I'm not sure I could actually live in Japan. Way too small of areas. I think some of those places would legitimately hit some of my claustrophobia. There's a channel I follow on YouTube. It's called something. Oh god, hang on. I'm going to mention, I might as well actually look up the name of it. Give me a sec. Solo Travel is what it's called. You may or may not be aware of the fact I'm in a very, very large room, Crazy Norse. With nice, big, open space around me. Anyways. Solo Travel is actually pretty legit. It's just some dude who's pretty quiet and humble and amusing. He's got a good sense of humor. And he just goes around. He has a very distinct style to it, but he is one of the types of video channels where they just travel, film the travel, and then that's the channel. That's what they do. You've probably heard of that type before because it's a pretty common format. I happen to like Solo personally because of all the specific details of how he does it, And the fact that he's not a dick about it. Anyways. So he did a thing where he was trying out, oh god, what are they called? Like the suitcase hotels? The really, really tiny hotels where you get a bed and that's pretty much it. So he gets into one of those things. He's got his phone. He's recording. No, not a hostel, not a motel. It's a pod. That's it, the pod hotels. So he gets into his pod. Yeah, with capsule. That's actually the proper term. Capsule hotels. Thank you. So he gets into his pod and he starts showing it off. And he was like, I'm going to show off like a normal one, like the cheapest one, which is extremely cheap. And then like a business class one, and then like a really nice luxury capsule hotel. And just watching the video was triggering my claustrophobia. Like, I want you to imagine you crawl into a bed, a small bed, mind you, and there's the wall right here, and there's the wall right here, and then there's the door where you got in. And that's pretty much your lot. That's what you got. Good night. It's very efficient, and they are very cheap. But yeah, no, that I just watching that, I was like, yeah, you just crawl into the CT scanner and good night. They've got sound. They're pretty well designed. I'll give them credit. Like there's sound dampening, and there's places where they'll give you slippers so you don't have to track your shoes in, and they've got all kinds of amenities that come with. You know, it's cool. It's not like it's crap, because it's Japan, for God's sakes. Japan usually doesn't skimp on the details because bottom line. Culturally. You would probably like the channel, Savicon, because he's a Japanese guy. So he does a lot of things for Japanese transit. Solo travel. 3 words. He had one thing where he went to a conveyor belt sushi restaurant and was complaining about how expensive the sushi was. It was like $2 per plate of sushi. I mean, it was just like one roll of sushi, but still. That's about 1/5 of the price of what you'll get it for here, for example. That's true. I haven't had sushi in 2025 yet either. I'm not going to anytime soon, but... Okay, fine, Crazy Norse. Ahem. Let me state this sentence in a way that is less causing you to nitpicky my statement, okay? He was complaining about how extremely cheap the sushi was. End statement. God damn it. It's true, Maverick. That's true. War Within might be a sushi expansion. And Pandaria and Legion. If you want one specific video to see if you like his style, Savicom, it's older. It's a couple of years ago, I think, at this point. But he covers the really, really expensive bus. It's like, oh god, you know what? Hang on. I'll tell you the exact video. Give me a sec. There it is. 1 year ago. I think? Wait. Is this right? No, I'm right. It was 2 years ago. It's actually called Riding Japan's... Come on, give me the link. There we go. Riding Japan's $120 completely private first class bus. And there it is. I don't know why that has a timestamp. Ignore that. Don't follow the timestamp. But that's the video that got me interested in the channel originally. One of my favorite videos he's done is actually hilarious, and for all of the wrong reasons. Oh, I know. A bus, a really, really nice private bus to go across Japan for 120 bucks. Like, that's ludicrously cheap compared to what you get out here. I actually looked into visiting my dad once on public transit just to see if I could, drive the price down from driving. No. Anyways.
Here there.
Well, look at that, old geared and fancy. Keely sent you to keep an eye on good old Caden, huh? I won't be needing it. I got these lots handled. They chose the wrong door to be ambushing today.
Watch your back.
Fine. You can join in. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Be good. How are you?
You see that pass up ahead? Yeah. That's an ambush. You seem very certain. Oh, yeah. Been through 4 times already. And I take it you're going through again? Damn right. Well, let's get to it then.
Off with you.
By quite a bit, Lunar Ruth. Oh, no. It's an ambush. That's fair. I don't want Crazy Norse to nitpick me. So let me actually clarify my sentence. Long-distance public transit is way overpriced in the States. If you want to do something local, then yeah, that might be cheaper. Emphasis on the word might. A lot of local places have a thing where you get a pass, which I'm pretty sure this is normal internationally. You buy a month of just transit. And that, if you're going to be doing it regularly, like, say, as a daily commute, then that is going to be a lot cheaper. In some cities, they'll actually set those price points very specifically so that they really want you to be buying those monthly passes. Like San Francisco is a good example of that. Was, I should say. I haven't been there in a while. Hell, I've lived in places where I could get away with just having a bike. I probably should have died, but, I didn't, so we're cool. Don't ever do what I did. So I had my backpack, which had some of my groceries in it. But I had more groceries than what could fit in my backpack. So the rest I just let hang on my arm while I drove one-handed on my bike. Don't do that.
Talk to me.
Thing of beauty, isn't it? And they keep coming back for more. I love it. I'll go find Keely and settle the nerves in a bit. Just one more row. Okay.
Watch your back.
No, that is not me bragging. That is me being a stupid kid. Don't do that. With the advantage of a little bit more wisdom and hindsight, I probably would have just done, multiple trips. That's true. They've also got the racks. I forget what they're called. For, like, deliveries and stuff.
Hi.
Hey, friend. I don't think I know you. I'm Donnelly. What's your name? I don't think I know you. Do I know you?
Safe
I
travel.
lost me Griffin. Big. Where are you, Big? Want to help me find him? I know he's in the oval. Big.
Off with you.
Sure, I'll help you find Beak. Sorry, I was looking at talents. I would not get on most public transit without a mask at this point in my life. Especially not with me coughing all over the place. A red rarity orange with no special abilities, just stats. Wow. Is it at least a nice stat stick? Ooh there, ooh there. Oh, the nail biter. Actually, I didn't recognize that. It's no vendor strike, but you know.
You got my attention?
Oh, you found him. You found Beak. I like you, friend. I'm gonna go show Keely. Keely likes Beak, too.
Watch your back.
Okay. Go home to Keely, Beak. He'll keep you safe till Donnelly comes back. Bye, Beak. No, I don't want to be here yet.
Great to meet you.
So thirsty. Eowyn, there's a well right there.
Safe travel.
Water? Are you daft? I need ale.
What's on your mind?
All the buildings and all the town to collapse. Why'd it have to be this one?
Off with you.
Look, buddy. Either you're here to help me find some drink, or you're in the way. Why don't you go down to the old storehouse, look downstairs. I had a mighty suspicion old bookkeeper up there was sneaking sips between the pages. I bet he had a keg in his basement. If you find anything, come straight back to me. No dallying. This is urgent.
See you soon.
This poor guy, he's been sober for like 5 minutes. I don't know if he can stand this for even a second longer. Go away. I love this. Why do the Ettins work for the Twilight Hammer? Because they have 2 heads! No, seriously, that's actually the canonical reason. Well, canonical's the wrong word. It's the reason why they work for the Twilight Hammer. I do like dwarven shenanigans. Agreed. Oh, kegs. 3 kegs. Yours. You're ours, no. Ah, keep me hands off me air, you unclean, pint-hitting mongrels. Eowyn? Where do you think you're going, sonny?
Hi.
You stink of sober. Find me some drink.
Safe travel.
Oh, Donnelly's belly. That's more like it. Good to be not dying of thirst again. Here, have some. Good old Eowyn's never so impolite as to not share. Thank you.
Off with you.
It smells and tastes like piss. So it's clearly a Budweiser. Hey, bud. Seeing as how you're so friendly and great and all, might do a dwarf a favour. These are Dunwald ruins. There's sure to be more in stock in some of these buildings if you come upon more ale. Maybe bring it my way, huh? A good dwarf can never have enough. I'm thinking I'll find my way back to Keely, so you might want to have to hunt me down, but I'll try and make it worth it to you.
Watch your back. You got my attention. See you soon.
Actually, it was the first thing I did, Europe, but the swinging was throwing me in terms of, like, steering. So, I walked away from that. That wasn't just one bike trip, too. I did that all the time. That was pretty much how I carried my groceries to and from the grocery store. Again, do not do that. It was very stupid of young me to do that. Is that the stupidest thing I've ever done? It's really high up there, if that isn't it.
Great to meet you. Off with you.
That many dead, huh? Not seeming likely that anyone outside my brothers fought through it then. I guess I expected as much. Thank you for taking the time to look for me.
Watch your back. See you soon.
Right, okay. So apparently I need more ale. Like, okay, so one time I drove a car with my head out the window because it was too iced over for me to be able to see. But frankly, that wasn't all that stupid. I was being extremely cautious, and I am an excellent driver. It was also late at night. There was very little traffic. I knew exactly where I was going, and I wasn't going far. So that wasn't really all that stupid, you know? Like, hell, I've done riskier things than that when driving. No, the stupidest driving thing I ever did. And I only did it once. I'm actually embarrassed to admit this. It was very, very early in my driving career. It was one of the first times I ever drove, actually. Maybe 6th or 7th time. And I decided, even though it was late at night, and by late at night I mean late in the morning, so like 5, 6 in the morning, something like that, and even though the water had all probably frozen on the roads, I'm just going to drive at full speed. It was the first time I ever experienced a spin out. It was actually pretty terrifying for young me. The thing is, and this is what makes it so stupid, I did it deliberately. Like, there was no, I'm an idiot and have ignorance. I was like, no, I got this. Now, the good news is I like to drive back roads, so there was no traffic at all. But, yeah, that was pretty stupid. That's probably the stupidest thing I've ever done behind the wheel. Actually, I would agree with that, Savicom. I have since actually taught several people to drive, and one part of that lesson is to go out and essentially do a controlled spin out in a parking lot. It's pretty easy to simulate, and that way they can literally feel what it's like and feel, you know, how they can react to it. And then, of course, we can teach them how they should react to it, which is almost invariably not what they do. No, I never had to do that, thank God, Yura.
What's happening?
Thank you for abandoning me brothers back again. I know they're tough, but they're even tougher when they're off side by side, and there's a lot of Twilight out there.
See you soon.
They've already left to hunt down the Etten that led the attack on Dunwald. I asked them to at least give you a chance to catch up, but I'm not sure there's Waitons in their blood. They made off towards the town square. Okay.
Safe travels.
The quest text says there's few things in Dunwald more terrifying than the brothers reunited. Oh yeah, no, did I not tell you the full story there, Savicom? I mean, obviously I didn't because you're asking. So, what boiled down to was I got a hold of a manager. After, like, 7 steps of nonsense, I finally was like, alright, look, I am clearly me. I have many, many ways to prove that I am me. Now, I understand that you have policies and procedures, but I live in a state that isn't Kansas, much further south from Kansas. Please do not make me drive up there. And I explained to her exactly what happened, because by that time I'd run through the whole list of what it did. I guess I'd explain what happened. So, 10 or so years prior, they did a massive mainframe overhaul, which meant all of their old records, all of their digital old records, essentially got thrown out the window. They were duplicated, replicated, but because of how the new system worked, what happened was someone somewhere, probably several someones, sat down and did a bunch of data entry and just added all of the old data entries into the new mainframe manually, right? What that means is every account that was grandfathered into that system had a few specific flags attached to it. For example, they didn't have passwords at all. So the reason I kept having trouble logging into my account was because my account had no password attached to it. The reason I couldn't reset my password was because I had no password attached. The reason I had so much trouble getting it signed up remotely was because of the fact that they had a policy where you had to walk in physically, and everyone in the area were told well in advance, hey, you need to walk in physically to access the account. And under most circumstances, this all makes perfect sense and is fine, because it was a local credit union, right? It was a credit union for Kansas. They just did business up there. So most people would be doing business, be like, oh no, my account's weird, if they somehow missed the news. They'd go into the bank physically, be like, hey, what's going on? And there you go. Correct, Savacon. So, I lined this all out for the woman, and I'm like, look. Oh, this is also why they said they gave me wrong information, because one of the things they asked me was when and where I created my account. And I could give them the exact number of the branch where I created that account and the year, down to the month, actually. And their response was, no, that's not correct. And I got really mad about that, because I am correct about where I started that account. The reason why is because all accounts that were grandfathered in were all created at the same branch, the central branch, at the exact same time when they were entering them into the new system. Anyways. So, I'm talking to the manager, and I'm like, look, this is me. Help me out here. So what she did was she printed out a couple of custom checks, like 5 of them. Said, here, I'm going to mail you these checks to your address, okay? You can then, write yourself a check, and then, just to essentially send yourself the money the old-fashioned way, that way, which is what I ended up doing. If you're not understanding why that was such an issue, ordering checks shouldn't be allowed, because it's not me and I can't prove I'm me, but also because the address wasn't properly updated. So the only way I got that working was by literally talking to a woman who was actually a bank manager. Anyways.
How are ya? See you soon.
Ooh, he's got some health. I mean, that was over a year ago, Suffolk, but yes. There's actually another niggle in this story, which makes it even funnier. So, yeah, the checks were actually going to my apartment. And the day we were doing the final move, the day, as we were going to hand in the keys, I was like, hang on, I want to check the mail one last time. And the checks were there. Yeah, no kidding, Sargon.
What's on your mind?
Thanks for your help. You got a warrior spirit. You could have fooled me for a Wildhammer if it weren't for you. I know Firebeard said she'd unite us. My love for that dwarf runs shallow, but we got plenty of reason to make enemies of the Twilight. If you see him, tell him that when the battle starts, the Dunwald will be there.
Off with you.
Will do. I don't think I've ever even had a meat crepe. Has anyone here ever had a meat crepe? It's your own Crazy Horse. Get some good dinner. Alright, Colin Thundermar. You're being called out as a coward.
Talk to me.
So, explain yourself.
Watch your back.
Hi?
Meat grape. What the hell is it? Okay. Curse the dragonmaw. They kill our birds, attack our families, and take our lands. Even as the world crashes around us, they still assault our homes. If your alliance wants the help of the Wildhammer, there's only one way to win us over. Stop the dragonmaw.
Watch your back.
He what? He calls me a coward. Just like a firebeard, all hot air, not a lick of sense. I've been bearing the brunt of the dragonmaw invasion from the south. Much of Thundermar is in ruins. And do any of the other clans stick up to help? No. All Thundermar is on his own, he is. You better believe I'm using everything in my arsenal just to stem the tide.
Safe travels. Off with you.
Dragonmaw. Monsters, all of them. We've fought them up and down the Highlands since the last war. And now they join forces with the Horde. If you're going to convince us to unite under the Alliance banner, you best prove yourself against the Dragonmaw.
Watch your back.
Go do these daily quests.
Safe travels.
Before you go, be sure to stop by the inn behind me. My sister Fanny's inside. Refugees are pouring into Thundermar from all the torched Wildhammer settlements. I put Fanny in charge of them. She's tough as talons, but she needs your help.
See you soon.
I've had savory crepes, but not ones with meat.
You got my attention.
It's not a boast to say that we Thundermars brew the finest ale in the Eastern Kingdoms. It's 220 proof. Hold on. Like, I'm looking up how much that is. Yeah, so Everclear, which is straight grain alcohol, is 190 proof. As the folks fled from the south to the tavern center, we were forced to leave behind their ale. He pauses, allowing the gravity of the situation to soak in. Get it back. That stuff will turn even the stingiest of warriors to whirling dovishes of mouth foam and destruction. Yeah, that's just straight up fuel. That is just fuel at that point.
Great to meet you.
My brother sent you. Good, I could use a warrior. Can you hold your own in a fight?
See you soon.
Supplies are short. We've got refugees coming from up and down the ridge. That's a lot of mouths to feed. Plenty of food stores were left behind as people pulled their families to safety. We need that food. Go get food. This is also, all of these are dailies, by the way. Don't worry, we're not doing the dailies. We're just doing the initial unlock versions. I kind of liked this daily zone, though. It's kind of strange. You'll walk in, and a zone is in a certain state. Basically, one side or the other has it. The moment you show up, it recognizes that a player has shown up, and then prompts an attack from the other side. What this effectively means is that there's always something happening relative to you, because you are the thing that makes things happen. Also, this is Kata, so credit didn't fully share yet. So that part sucked. If there were too many people, then yeah, that would get irritating. Still, when I did this, nobody was doing it anymore, so... Yeah, at that point, you're just putting fire on your tongue. It's like the capsaicin of super ridiculously spicy food, right? No, not spicy food. Super ridiculously spicy food. The stuff that people only eat because it gets them in record books or because they like to feel like their dick is big. And then they have digestion troubles for the next year. Or always. I actually know a guy who burned his tongue so badly on, I don't remember what, that it actually never recovered. Like, he had to be careful about food on a specific spot on his tongue for, like, to this day. I mean, I love spicy food, don't get me wrong. But that's not what I'm talking about. What we're talking about isn't spicy food. We're talking about, as Brigwin says, stuff you have to sign a waiver for. I don't know how healthy spicy food is. I've heard differing stuff on that. Now, garlic, that's healthy. Garlic and potatoes. If only there was some way to combine garlic and potatoes. Yeah, as I get older, that's something I tend to think about as well. Wolverale. Getting really drunk now. I don't think I've ever had black garlic. Excuse me. Oh my god. I'm dizzy. Whoops, I'm muted. That sounds horrible. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Spice is different from heat. I like spice. A lot, actually. God, they do, Magister. I didn't think about that. But heat is just heat. And last I checked, the only real benefit of heat is proving that your dick is big. Or I guess more accurately, small. By the way, never tried a dragonfly while drunk. Dragonflight really doesn't interact well with the drunk thing. My hands are off the keyboard right here, to give an idea here.
What can I do for you?
How goes the fight?
Watch your back.
Oh, look at that. Quite a collection of trophies. I'll spread the word. If a single Alliance warrior can do this, imagine what the rest of you can accomplish. Don't think of me as the norm.
Safe travels.
Just don't do that. You know, I should just sell all this crap right now.
I have many, many wares. Many farewells.
How are ya?
Get me that ale. You haven't been skimming off the top, have you? I have not been wanting to, no.
Off with you.
Interest ya in a pint? Watch your back.
Oh, it's good. Hardly a worm or weevil to be found. Gross.
What's on your mind?
Cho'Gall keeps track of his minions through these funny magical bowls, the Eyes of Twilight. If I could get my hands on one of those, I bet I could use it to look in on Cho'Gall, see what his creeps are up to. Go get me one. Alright, I can do that.
Watch your back. Great to meet you.
I just heard the most terrible news from the West. We lost Humboldt's stead, wiped off the face of the planet in a wall of fire. The Twilight Hammer is to blame, and the survivors say it's the work of a Magma Lord Balthazar. He's an ascendant. It's what they call the highest echelon of the Hammer cultist, who'll become one with the elements. He's a creature of pure fire. He'll soon be a creature of pure dead. Go there, bring me his head.
Safe travels.
Oh, that sounds awful. Wolfer Ale. Oh, Lord. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Need assistance?
Greetings, warrior. I'm from the High Bank Advanced Scouting Unit, trying to win over Wildhammer and Thundermar. Their Griffin Riders having a tough time bringing down the dragonmaw Drake Riders. I've got a plan for a contraption that'll help, but I'm gonna need supplies. Lots of supplies.
Be seeing you.
First things first, we're gonna need ammunition. Ammunition powerful enough to pierce the armored hide of a black drake. West of Thundermar is a Wildhammer town that's been overrun with unbound elementals. Any weapons left behind in that conflagration will have been tempered by elemental flame. Not for anything I could whip up with this forge. Find me their spears. The pointier, the better.
Off and away. Alrighty then.
I have a plan to quadruple the recommended torque for a standard spear gun of this size, but according to my calculations, the act of firing the weapon would shatter the casing and cleave the planet in two. If we weld together a chassis 100 times stronger, I had a good source of pure elemental flame. So, well, there's unbound ember fiends just rolling around west of here. Kill them and render them down to pellets of molten fury. Go bring me some.
You have a great day now. Be seeing you.
As you know, the amount of energy stored in a conventional spring is equal to 1/2 the spring's elasticity times the displacement squared. Unless you're using an elementium spring, then the numbers get obscene, mathematically grotesque. I need some elementium loops for my for my secret weapon, and it just so happens the Twilight Hammer cultists use coils like that to bind the earth elementals. How appropriate.
Off and away.
You know, I actually don't know, Lunarith. I'm not sufficiently familiar with physics to answer that. I think I'm going to pause here before we go do this next little subzone. So I'll be back after the lunch break.